Oh man, good morning, my team. What is up, everybody? Please let me know that you can hear me. Throw those A's in the chat right now. Please throw those A's in the chat if you can hear your boy speak behind his microphone. Hello. Oh yeah, man. Are you feeling the whiplash or what? Damn. I mean, how do you feel that? How's that going? Oh my goodness. I mean, talk about getting just slammed back and forth, right? I guess welcome to the world of a potential squeeze, man. It's saying, welcome to Earth, B. What is up, Danielle? Good to see you here. Dr. McLovin. Joel, Gal, how's it going? Origin, always good to see you here. What's up, Ernie, Scott, Green Mountain? Guys, thank you so much for coming by. What's up, Key? Welby, my dude. Ian Tucker, what's up, guys? Cryptic. Man, and Lockup, my brother. What is up, dude? Good to see you here. Always a pleasure, man. So how about that shakeout? Team, what was I gonna say? Check out that low. It came down to, let's see, 647. That was pretty much yesterday, right? We were speaking of, what was it, a 640 yesterday? Yeah. And we were speaking of a 643 yesterday. And this one, oh man. I mean, this is really dangerous moves, man. These are incredible. And now GTII, what are you guys saying? GTII is also ripping, right? Nice. 91 cents. Oh my goodness. Daily Gaussian band on GTII suggesting a potential resistance coming up at of course, right at the historical little zone of $1, right? So we'll go ahead and take a look at that as it moves up. But it's a very interesting work in the price action happening within FNGR right now. That's very curious, and it's also being suppressed right under that $7 mark. You know, if anything, I'm gonna be clean with you guys, right? I spoke to the moderators last night. I also spoke to my brother. We're going over the play on FNGR, and I'm thinking to myself, you know what? There could be a pullback. You know, there could be a small pullback here, but I'm honestly only seeing it in the 5-minute. So I told him, you know what? If this thing's gonna pull back, I think it's gonna pull back maybe no more than 624. Then 724 or something like that, right? So price action comes down this aggressive. I even think I may have said higher than that, right? And it just comes down that aggressive, just huge thrust to the downside. I had no idea it was going to come down that low, right? So here's a 12-hour perspective here. Very curious, you know, that we're seeing all these wicks to the downside. Usually when you see all these wicks to the downside like that, that usually means that the bear strength is a little limited. So if it is the case that they're limited, yeah, let's go ahead and do that. Let's print this and see what's good, right? So I think the Bulls have the advantage still. They still have the court and the ball, and I think everything would be okay. And if we are facing this pressure right now, you guys know how it is when we start reaching that the 10 a.m. zone, right? 9:30 to around 10:30. Very good little pocket where price action starts to recover, right? So, and I actually wanted to touch bases on ACB just yesterday because, in a video thread yesterday, because we ended up getting the closure of the 8-hour candle that we spoke of, right? So, let me go ahead and restore that connection. Right, so this is it closed right at the resistance or support that we were talking about, right? So our idea was to see if we can get another closure of an 8-hour iteration here on this one. So this would be the confirmation candle. But I guess you can also consider this to be like the ugliest 3 white soldiers, right? So that's technically a bullish formation, and it would suggest a continuation to the upside. And not only that, is that it's actually an 8-hour. Let me show you this. Check this out. I'm gonna get rid of the Gaussian here. Yeah, look, 8-hour bullish engulfing into 3 white soldiers. And I mean, this is the ugliest 3 white soldiers I've ever seen in my life, man. But if that's the case, let it be the larger candles and not, right? Super booming right now. It feels like ACB has already reached its high of day at 115. There's no way we could ever be sure of that. Psychology takes over. Charts get a little hazy. But yeah, if I were to guess, I think the 115 has a good chance of it being the high of day today. So be careful trading that asset, okay? I just wanted to touch bases on that because I know I had a couple people long that, just yesterday. So ASRE sitting at that 39-cent level even still. Let's go ahead and, oh yeah, did you guys see? Sebastian Lim actually pointed out something earlier today. He said, interesting move from COSM. COSM rallied at the open. It just, I mean, look at this. Like it opened here at about 101, and the freaking thing ripped all the way up there. Let's see. Let's measure it. So 101, right? And then this thing ripped an insane 45% gainer to the upside to $1.47. I mean, I'm talking about it must have been within a 5-minute candle. Stupid price action, just ripping to the upside, right? So really, really weird stuff. Actually, I'm gonna give it to Lauren Wood. Actually, he said yesterday, I think Sebastian did too, and somebody else did too. He said, you know what, COSM looking yummy, and I'm like, wow. I don't even know what to say about that, right? I forgot who it was, but somebody did say that, right? So. And key Nvos is still going. A good call by Moon. Yeah, so Moon Market has actually been behind that ticker for some time now. So you know what? I really, at that open, it was really interesting price action because my options contract, especially the 6s, they were so hyped, they were so inflated they were up 200%. It was insane. So I guess we're just gonna have to see what we're gonna do here as far as a recovery. We'll pull up the moving averages. We'll see what we have, right? So for example here, right? I think that's the EMA 21, or it may actually be the 13. Let me take a look. So blah 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 blah. Yeah, it's actually the 13, right? So this is the this would be the 1348 strategy, the cross of the EMA 13 or the 48 from trading dork. What is his name again? He's partners with Short the VIX, right? So yeah, we're facing a little bit of that support right now on the bi-hourly 13. I'm sorry, EMA 13. Let's see if it can hold it. If it doesn't hold it, we may have to use our primary moving averages, right? So it's already looking at it's a little tiny. It's a little cliffy here, right? So I'm wondering if we're gonna get a second chance at that EMA 21 down there one more time, right around that 673 to around that 671. It's feeling like it wants to actually just get that validation of the channel bottom and then continue on to the upside. We have to observe this very carefully, and also seeing that we have the quad witching coming up on what was it, on this Friday. Yeah, major options contracts expiration dates. Expiry, and as long as let's see what do we have as well. The ETF contracts. We have future contracts. A lot. There's a huge amount of things expiring on this Friday, right? And it only happens 3 days out of the year. So, I mean, I wouldn't be trying to get caught with some options contracts during that time. So yeah, I would be very careful. What's up, Off Grid Gorilla? Good to see you here, my brother. So Daniel Spears, can we not start our morning accusing people of stuff? Wait. Who's accusing who of who? What? Almost 1 million volume already. Sorry, I think I'm missing something, right? Let's see, fair enough. Seems a bit contrary to me. Right. I'm sorry. I'm not catching the actual question. They're limited than would appear. They are in control. I'm not sure if I was answering the questions correctly, but please let me know. Yeah, let me know if I can answer something within that, though. I'm happy to answer whatever. I see Cryptic. Thank you, brother. But yeah. I mean, whatever it is, just let me know, and I can answer whatever questions need to be answered. 681 already getting that little bit of a drop here on that new 2-hour candle. We just opened up that bi-daily one, right? I'm a little surprised too. I think if I remember correctly, Bob, you've been pretty good, right? The at least in the last week. But if you have anything that I can answer for you, please let me know. And Lauren Wood, Lauren, I said nothing negative. I simply made observations. I'm very long. Okay. Okay, so you're long FNGR. So am I. We have risk on the table right now, right? Oh, okay, good. Yeah, Key, I know. I can trust that too. Thank you, guys. Thank you. It's good to keep the positive vibe, right? We just want to be able to make we just want to survive the trading day, right? Oh, thank you, Bob. So you're long FNGR and GTII. So let me know whatever I can do to help, my brother. And then everything will be cool, right, guys? Everything is looking nice. Check this out. How does that 3-hour time frame look for this, man? That is, oh, what? Wow. That's something that I didn't go over the last time, right? Very nice. Let's see. Lewis, what's up? I am long AMC, GTII, and FNGR. Lewis, you're going to have to get out of AMC immediately before it rips you open, my brother. Be very careful with that asset. It's you know, man, it actually trapped a lot of people, including myself. A lot of people lost money there, right? So I try to keep the community from, trying to trade the AMC asset. That'll really kind of give a boy a spanking, right? So, oh my goodness. That's right. Lauren Wood saying that this is Team FNGR. Guys, no. Let's not point fingers at each other, please. Let's just keep it civil. Let's hang out, right? We're doing good. We just want to trade and exist here. So let's see. Hedge Fund Killers, how you doing? What's up, brother? Good morning. How is Viri looking? Yes, we're going to have to be going over Viri too, right? And also, guys, if I'm not catching the movements here on FNGR, please let me know in the chat what's going on, right? But as of now, we know that we're approaching that area of around 674, 670. The bottom side of this support line here where the EMA 21, I believe, was located, right? There we go. This down here, it's actually now located at about, flat 670. So let's see if we can get that bounce from that zone there and everything will be cool and cooling. But if it doesn't happen, please let me know and we'll continue it, right? Dude. Let's see. Okay, so let's go ahead and get it done right here. Let's go ahead and take a look at ticker symbol VIRI and find out what is good. Wow. Pushing down to 93 cents and actually already got a shakeout at around 89.98. This type of move increases volatility. Okay, 1 hour and 51 minute, a little bit of danger here on the 4 hour because of this bearish engulfing, right? Finger to close above $8 today, says Steve Mercer. Are you laying down the law again, my brother? You got it damn right yesterday, my bro. Oh my goodness. And that actually, I mean, did you guys happen to catch my video? I want to ask that question right now. I'm sorry. I know I'm looking at VIRI right now, but did you guys happen to catch my video from last night? The huge, epic, half a movie long video that I put up. I was talking about that 750 target being an area that we would pull back from, and I didn't see it, reaching all the way until maybe today in the early pre-market, but it freaking happened as we were making the video. All the resistance grabs that we were talking about, they all happened right there live. The completion of the statistical upside, the standard deviation move, all of that. It was incredible for it to just complete the moment we were filming this video. It was crazy, man. Yeah. So Lauren, while I was filming that video, that's why I'm saying, like, while I was filming the video, you can see it in my video that I'm pointing at the targets of resistance. I'm like, okay, team, if the price action now is indicative of making some higher targets, right? So going into the after hours trading, it looks like we're going to be touching that 745 to around that 750 level, and then the video was like around 28 minutes long or something like that. So 10 minutes into the video, this thing goes 735, 740, 744. It hits 750, 52 and retraces hard, right? So or retraces and then regains it again and closes there. So I'm just over there like, what the hell? Like, it actually the statistics actually met to the dime, man. It was incredible. It was incredible to see that. Especially on that video, and I wouldn't have caught it if I didn't go over the play last night. But yeah, very interesting. I stated that if we hit that 750, we can expect retracement from there. Of course, man, we ended up getting a little bit of a sell-off this morning, right? So I'm wondering what that sell-off could be. So please let me know. I know that some people are speculating that it could have been the S3, it could have been something else, I don't know. But please let me know in the chat what your feeling is as far as the pullback in FNGR, right? So let me go ahead and get your thoughts on that. 671 FNGR, says Daryl. Thank you so much, my brother. Buzz Margin Call. Appreciate you, my dude. I'm gonna listen to the Gensler hearing. I'll be back. Nice. Actually, isn't there also a very important space call or something? I think it may have been Avid with Daniel Borders, and we can go ahead and tune in on that and have this guy say hello. I'm sorry, will say hello. So I think he did, right? So let's see. Okay, but anyway, let's go ahead and continue the thread of analysis here on Viri, right? This price action, let me see what the indices are doing. Oh, that doesn't seem so bad. All right, the S&P 500 futures on the daily is showing a little pressure towards the downside. I mean, I can see that. Let's see the high of it. 45.37. Wow. All right, that's almost a 10-point move already. So that's, I guess, yeah, that is pretty strong. I'm wondering, though, what else could be the catalyst? Do you guys know of any of the, let's see, Deborah, how you doing? Good morning. Thank you so much for stopping by. Steve Thompson, what's up, dude? Over the coming days or weeks, I'm sorry, I didn't actually really get that. Danny Gonzalez, what is up, man? FNGR up in here on that discount, right? Check that out. In fact, I think I actually should be, I'm trying to look over Viri right now, and I'm looking at the broader markets to see what kind of pressures we're facing, right? So I think honestly I think the sixes are already in the money, right? So maybe, yeah, the sevens, September 15th, $7 options, I think that would be the spot to go to. In this discount right now, right? So price action is fluctuating within this bottom side. And we didn't even, I mean, we talked about a potential discount, over and over here, but this is I guess this is the one here. So, but anyway, yeah, we're getting some interesting pressures to the downside right now, especially seeing a 10-point move on this, ES1, the S&P 500 futures. So what I was going to say is that I want to know if we're getting some downside pressures from any of the Magnificent Seven. If you guys know or see it, please let me know. So I'm going to just go ahead and try to look at them right now and see what could be cooking. I mean, Nvidia is actually pushing nicely. Tesla is pushing nice to the upside as well. Oh, nice. MYO just tapped that 131. Was that the target that we spoke of yesterday? I'm not entirely sure. I guess Apple would be the only one decreasing right now, and that's the one that I've been saying is facing some trouble. How is Netflix looking? Netflix is looking normal. Let's see. Yeah, Apple. So Microsoft too, brother? Okay, yeah, actually Microsoft feels like it's a little bit like this one's the one that's actually the culprit behind, both for sure. So Cryptic, thank you so much, my brother. I really do agree. So Apple for sure, and now Microsoft. Look at that. It's actually pushing some lower numbers. And it's getting ready to move the entire market. Both of these can easily make the entire market short bias. 23,000 wall on FNGR, 750, Mikey. Man. Yeah, never be afraid of taking profits on the way up. So, all right, let's go ahead and now put our thesis together, because this could be some of the reasons that we're facing the pressures on Viri. But I want to remind you that this is the target that I was looking for yesterday. If I can just put it to you that way. Why? Because when we made this up run here, the candle came all the way down here and it marked off an area of inflection. So I said that when we were up here, that there's two areas of demand that I'm looking for, right? This one in particular, and then this one down here. So 88.74 to 92.27, this is the zone that I actually wanted to long on Viri, and I was hoping that we would get some insane returns from the FNGR play or the ASRE play, right? So we haven't gotten that just yet, and I'm kind of missing my plan here, right? But yeah, in fact, guys, damn it, man. This is my spot. This is my buy-in right in here. And we're currently sitting at 93.10, and the top side of the first buy was 92.27. So it's not even a tick away. Yeah. Oh, Lauren. Yeah, really? That's interesting. We were just looking at that pump to the upside. Very wow. No way. Why is it that much? 20. Is that true? 21 million? 25 million. Dylan Reiser, why is that not Viri? Why is this not worth Yeah, I don't know what's going on with COSM. Was there something, was there a fundamental release or something? No, I don't see anything there. If you guys see in your media outlets something, please let me know here. But this is actually a validation of support down here at 114, currently sitting at 114. Yeah, I guess the let's see. Yeah, I guess what we would be looking for is the share buyback news, right? But I don't think we've gotten that at all. Let's see. There's news in Discord. Oh, but who? Which means that, you know what, I can look at. Let me look at Greg, see if he posted anything. No, he hasn't posted anything since the 17th of August. I'm not seeing anything there. Wow. Yeah, but very, very curious. This is in the process of validating this support here. And it feels like a shakeout. Oh, nice. Let's see. Let me take a look. In the community chat, I imagine, or on COSM itself. Let me go ahead and take a look. Yeah, team. But as far as Viri is concerned, that's that spot. I wish I could be just getting. I wish I could be just getting long there right now. Let's see. So, Gal puts that COSM Cosmos Health shares are trading higher after the company issued guidance saying it expects to achieve over $180 million in gross annual revenue. Okay. There we go. Expects to achieve over $180 million in gross annual revenue and EBITDA in excess of $20 million by 2026. Recap significant events reported so far in 2023. Wow. So that is what created these 25 million in volume. That is really something, man. That was a huge move to the upside. GTII coming back down to, I would say maybe try to validate this as a support. The 8740 range, which would be the Gaussian band, the mid band. Yeah, that's really something there. And let's go ahead and take a look at ASRE. ASRE also facing pressures from the broader markets too, coming down to 38. And FNGR, where is it sitting? 681. Good thing here is that it's still holding upside of the channel and using the EMA 21. So it did come back down to, it came back down to, wow, to $6.66. It actually used that EMA 21. We were talking about a 670 bottom. Good deal. Good deal. Okay, good. Okay, well, yeah, man. So SL volume on GTII currently 545,000. That's a lot. Let's go ahead and, yeah, no, Danielle, I have not. Let's go ahead and take a look at it now, though. Hey, Sam, how are you? Good to see you here. Thank you so much for stopping by, for saying hello. Yeah, let's go ahead and take a look at Nvos. As I know that there is quite the play behind that one. Massive volatility. Okay, 3-hour time frame. Continuing to the upside. Why did it stop at that 3-hour candle at 44 cents exactly? What is the deal behind that? Let's see. Wow, it was because of this candle here. That was a low of 440 and we did a 444. I guess it is pretty close. I would consider it as accurate. NEOV afterward, sure. So yeah, let's observe volatility and momentum here and see what's going down with this asset, right? So let's go back down to the 15-minute time frame. We have clearly expanding volatility right now. We have, expanding volatility and upside momentum in the bullish control zone and approaching the gravitational zone of the bulls control. So this is likely why the 30-minute is getting this upside push. Very convincing upside push here. Expansion starting, and we're about to get a bullish crossover on the MACD. Looks like the RSI already got its bullish crossover as well. And it is approaching the gravitational zone. However, I feel like the 30-minute could be I would like to see more volatility out of that, right? But you can see here on stochastic momentum versus money flow that the dispersion is coming in. So we have inbound cash. Let's look at the hourly time frame. Hourly time frame already getting that little bit of an upside from the EMA3 and the SMA14. Expanding volatility as well. Bullish crossover on that RSI and looking like it still wants to continue to the upside. However, like I said, it feels like it's slowed down just a bit. Sorsen, what is up, my dude? Good to see you here. Oh, yeah. What the heck? We just covered it. We covered it maybe 5 minutes ago. I can recap on that though, my brother. So hourly, yeah, the hourly time frame is already getting that, right? Let's see if the bi-hourly gets that. All right. Oh, barely. Okay, so it's cascading. Right now it's just cascading. Okay, we gotta wait for the 30-minute to officially send it into the hourly and the hourly into the bi-hourly, and then officially, you know, actually nice. Yeah, we need the shorter time frames to catch up with the upside pivots that we originally started. So the wave of the upside here on the 4 hours still has not been affected to the downside. So yeah, I think that we have to catch up with the immediate short-term time frame to meet the 4 hour and continue on to the upside. But it's still pointing towards the upside, and I'm still going to be favoring these targets here, 46.55 to 50.19. Oh, right. Yeah, man. I just, dude, you can only take so much pressure from so many people. It's just like, it's so toxic. Right, so I ended up putting a video for the first time in a while, just around a couple days ago, right? And I there's no way I could have seen this upside here. In fact, it's been consolidating, and I really wanted to get the bottom side touches here. I was honestly looking for a 55.32 to 50.90, and if that failed, then of course your 45.63 into 45.54 price kind of double bottom from that 59 and then just rejected. I also don't know how this is actually pushing to the upside like this. Is there, other than the fact that FNGR or whatever that, right? But is there another reason as to why this can be going up like this? So please let me know in the chat if you do know that. And yeah, so let me go ahead and now take a quick look. Okay, so ASRE back to 39. Let's go ahead and take a look at NEOV. My voice is so damn scratchy. Let me take some liquids here, team. Just a quick sec. That's an interesting outlook. Cryptic, man, I'm afraid to say that it could be. Because I mean that is the idea here, right? It's as long as retail believes, if everyone believes in one shot. Yeah, Ham did say that yesterday, right? So if everyone believes in one shot, then yeah, GTII has the shot for it, right? But if retail rejects the idea, then GTII wouldn't run. So I really do. I have to agree with that perspective. It's out of the anticipation that the entirety of or the rest of the community is going to try to average down for the last time ever and just rip this thing to the upside. All it takes, it really is. All it takes is just some volume to the upside. The only thing I'm worried about GTII is that, yeah, you know, we have a lot of people with some very, very high averages, right? So cost basis. I mean, there's people stuck at even upwards of $2, $3, even $5 and $7, all the way up there. So my problem with that is that on these runs, you will tend to get a lot of sell-offs in fear that it will come back down. People that are not trusting the asset anymore, people that just want to break even and recover anything from their entry. That's what I mean, right? So I hope that it doesn't just so if FNGR stalls GTI, I will dump. Wow, that will suck. That will suck. And I mean, it's actually a little bit apparent right here, reaching that almost 95 high, and then we're getting this retracement here. That shows that conviction here being, you know, through FNGR's downside. So if anything, maybe the assets are starting to curl together. They're starting to correlate. So if they start to correlate, that means that it's going to mirror the price action here. And that does mean also that we have a lot more people observing FNGR's price action as if it were GTII's per se an index, right? GTII, let's see, has that meme stock stick. Well, yeah, well, Lou, that's right. Yeah, Lou actually kind of put that on there. Sorensen saying GTII, the thing that won't math is the surprise. The surprise attack. Okay, pushing stop losses works both ways. Oh yeah, absolutely. It could get dangerous for the shorts too. I'm talking about retail and big money, because there could be shorts that averaged right, you know, down here on this confirmation. But it's very curious because we were already talking about this being the breakout from the descending channel. And in fact, in the video, I said if there's anything that's going to happen, you know, it would happen around here. But it's just, I don't like it when things break out just on a straight line. 230% turnover on COSM. How is it not up 100%, right? 45% run on the day. Okay, so let's go ahead and now take a look at that NEOV ticker. So this is another one that I believe Daniel. Oh, right, guys, that's what I was doing. I wanted to make sure to see if we can get notified here over what was happening. I think it was Avid, and that would be really cool if he did actually host them, right? Let's see. I think he has a space or something coming up. Let's see. Wow, I'm not seeing it. Do you guys know what I'm talking about, or am I just tripping? Wasn't he the one that had maybe a reminder set up for a space call with Borders? I want to say that I saw it last night. Oh, today, noon Eastern. Yeah, so that would be in about an hour and a half. Yeah, I'm very curious over what that is, and that's yeah, that's good that he's doing it at noon, because that's the quiet period. Thank you, Samantha. Thank you, Ian. Really appreciate you guys. So, and now Cryptic is sharing that link. Yeah, so go ahead, guys, and give a quick follow to Avid Trader, and set a reminder here for the conversation between him and Daniel Borders. So that would be really interesting to take a look. Yeah. So Hail Hydra saying, if you can ask for a ticket review, you can hit the freaking like button. Hit the like button. Thank you, my brother. Make sure to hit the bell icon as well, so that you are notified whenever I am live or posting any type of content, whether it be a video or, text, all that good stuff, right? So yeah, team, go ahead and do that and set that reminder. I'm going to see if, well, it says today at 9 a.m., right? Because it's Pacific time for me. So if we can get that, then that would be cool if we can just kind of listen in here, and we'll do that. It's no problem. So let's see, $3.19 NEOV. A very interesting downside here, right? So that's already giving me a feeling that it wants to fail this mean, but recovering it here is absolutely important too. And please let me know if this is actually moving for you. But let me look at this in the 8-hour more importantly. Yeah, same thing on the 8-hour. Ever so slightly fell beneath the top side of the bands here. Still holding that support. And Arca will give you 100 AMC shares. Oh my goodness. Dude, my all-time longest position right there was just around 180 shares with an average of like what, like freaking 40 something. It cost like 8,000 something dollars. And then yeah, I got back. I didn't entirely get nothing back. So I guess in total I ended up just recovering maybe around $2,600 out of that play. So I guess it didn't come out. I didn't come out entirely empty-handed, but you know, it was a massive loss. But you know, fair enough. It's all good. That was the play that I have to thank, right, for the incredible abilities here of Superman. No, I'm just kidding, you guys. Yeah, you can hear my voice a little raspy, right? Let me take another sip, just a second. Here we go. NEOV dropping to 312 right now. Let's go ahead and go to the immediate short term. I want to see what's going on with momentum. Okay, so check this out. 30-minute time frame is on a very clear decline, right? And the important thing about the decline is that we're expanding in volatility. So when we have an expansion phase happening, that means that we are trading more shares than normal, right? So it's increasing volume. And increasing volume with a downside pivot just means that we're hitting the gas towards the downside. Right? So it is kind of important for us to observe momentum in that way. Now let's move to the hourly time frame and see if it already got it. It looks like the hourly time frame already got that downside as well. And please take a look at this here. The MACD is about to create a crossover. There is outgoing cash presently too here in the hourly time frame. Bearish crossover on the RSI. Let's see the bi-hourly time frame. There is a little bit of a read here on the EMA3. That is definitely suggesting that a downside could be reading from the hourly and from the 30-minute. And the bearish crossover on the MACD is happening there. And on the RSI, we have outbound cash. Let's see the 4-hour. Okay, so the 4-hour is still not really feeling that pressure to the downside. So I guess this is going to be a zone to really evaluate this support. If we can close, yeah, upside of the Gaussian band 8-hour time frame, that would be above $3.20. We are literally a couple ticks away. If we can close above that, right, on an 8-hour candle, that would be the first potential of a continuation here. Okay, so this 8-hour candle will close in an hour and 23 minutes, which is just about 9 a.m. Pacific time here, my time. Okay, so NEOV is feeling a little sketchy here. But again, this is another borders play, right? This could rip. Gal K, COSM start momentum. Could it actually be? We'll take a look. But yeah, team. So now, aside from that, you can see here this very clear chop zone, except for this one huge pump that didn't really last a long time. Yeah, let's try to close this this 8-hour candle first. Let's see if we can maintain ourselves above the 320 mark. Or right? I would really like at least a tick upside of the 320, maybe 321, right? But I mean, if we're closing at the money, then that's okay too. But just really know that I would prefer the 321. But that's going to be a critical time for us to close. We're going to have to observe that 122. We need to get that closure on the positive. Let's see. Yeah, no, I don't mind that whatsoever. Where is that getting played, actually? That would be some good information to look at. FNGR EMA 21 at that 670 level that we talked about. It's at 671 right now. Yeah, not a problem, Welby. Who's actually, let's see. I'm going to go ahead and, let's see, over U.S. Securities Exchange Commission with Gary Gensler. Yeah, let's go ahead and tune in right here. I think Busy actually has it, right? So let me go ahead and start prepping that here and see what the deal is.
I see the challenges that will be presented to customers who are purchasing those mutual funds and frankly, the two-tiered system that I'm talking about. But relatedly, despite your reassurances that the public, especially the millions of everyday investors most directly impacted by these proposals, would have sufficient opportunity to provide feedback through the notice and comment process, your agency provided just over 90 days to sift through nearly 1,700 pages of 4 proposed rules wrapped into one proposal. This same proposal included roughly 1,200 questions from your staff for industry feedback. If you have over 1,000 questions, I fail to see how you can say with a straight face that you have issued a proposed rule and not a request for information. Do you think 90 days is a reasonable amount of time for the average investor or small business to digest a complex proposal that includes 4 rulemakings, including by answering roughly 1,200 questions, again, in just 90 days?
I feel very proud of the agency and the work to comply with the Administrative Procedures Act, to seek that public comment in the equity market proposals. As you mentioned, we voted them in December of last year. We kept the public comment file open until March, the end of March, so 100 plus days from when we put it on our website. And we continue to get meetings and comments, and the staff takes those into consideration as well.
I'll just say that 1,200 questions for small businesses, investors to answer in a 90-day window seems a bit of a high bar. But the Dodd-Frank Act required about 400 rules from financial regulators, and 67 of those would come from the SEC. Today, it seems like we are living in the twilight zone, asking people to comply to unrealistic timeframes with too many questions. And frankly, as you can tell,
all right.
From my perspective, according to the Committee on Capital Markets under your leadership, the SEC
apparently
has put forward 47 proposals.
Yeah, so apparently it's not
in the first several months of your
what we wanted to hear, right? So let's see. I'm going to record this and play it at night. I won't need as nice. Oh my goodness, dude. That's that's ridiculous. Yeah, that felt a little real. We could definitely use that for some chilling time, right? Oh, they already talked about MMTLP. Is that really where FNGR is? You morbid you. So currently sitting at 672. Nice little dip here, man. This is, yeah, man. I feel like if we're gonna get any opportunity here, let me see if I have any dry powder. I really wanted to get a runner here. So let's see what the options chain is doing, man. Yeah, everything kind of came down. Bob saying Gensler never really answers the questions, but continues to get away with it. He knows he doesn't have to. Oh my goodness, dude. Him and every other SEC chair. Oh goodness. Okay. So the sevens have, the sevens have significantly dropped here, but not as much as the 11s. Have you seen the 11 strikes drop a massive 32%? Just kick us in the groin next time, says Off-Grid Gorilla. So yeah, the 11 strikes are losing a lot of cash right now. Is that a reason to get long? To get really long? And also the 10 strikes have lost about almost 17%, consistent with the 9s. The ones that have lost the least is actually only one. That's the $8 strike. Maybe that's where we go. Okay, so I do have a little bit of dry powder left. Discount is in. I'm going long. September 15th, $8 strikes. Let's see what's good. Yeah, I guess we can do it right there. That's no problem. And hit it, hit it. Okay. My bid is in. It is in, it is in, it is in. In like Flynn. So what's the time frame with this Univest partnership? And how do things kick off? Man, that is actually a question for Avid himself. If you guys know the answer to that, please go ahead and reply here on the chat. I am also curious over what Welby just asked as well. Right, so anyway, let's go ahead and let's keep an eye on our assets here, right? Let's watch our assets. So we have 39 cents on ASRE, still maintaining that upside. 88 cents on GTII, holding upside of that mean band on the Gaussian channel. Is COSM dangerous again? It's at 113. Actually, it's miraculously enough still holding that top. And FNGR getting a little bit of a pull to the upside, 672, just one tick. So let's look at the markets again, man. Let's see this. Look at Apple. Wow. So this is I was trying to give this warning to a few people here that Apple it's going to start to capitulate, right? So other than the fact that it already fell. John Smith saying Gary Gensler, a former Goldman Sachs alumni, and supports naked shorting, in my opinion. At Goldman Sachs' entire business model is profiting from shorting, so they're a short bias. 93 Borders, and let's see, said earlier he has all his homies, and he's ready to end the shorts. Liquid lunch. Oh, what? Wait. Was that the hint for lunch? Could be. Today is Apple day 1, I believe. Traders just positioning, maybe whisper info. I mean, that's a big. I don't know, dude. Like, that's a lot. 189.92. It already came down to 173, and it's dead cat bouncing on a daily right now. Actually, it's looked at better on the 8-hour or the 12-hour. But it was 173 to 180, a 7-point recovery, and then falling. Like, this is really a lot. I mean, Apple could be facing their first miss on their iPhone print. So 93 is saying no, I don't think it's weird to be shorting Apple, brother. I actually think people are probably witnessing that they're going to be they overshot on the production on their iPhone 15, and they're going to be left with a lot of stock. That's what I am feeling personally, and this is why I've actually been saying this for a couple of weeks, that Apple is potentially going to face downside here. It's I see. It's way overweight. Sure. I mean, I mean, at this right at the November 21 capitulation, it was around 198.12, and there is news. New iPad Air 6 delayed. Analysts cast doubt on October launch. Check that out. Apple online store is temporarily down ahead of the iPhone 15 launch event. Oh my goodness. What a wrong time to have tech issues, right? That is crazy. Sasquatch. Daniel Borders was offering a steak dinner that 5 tickers of choice would close green today. No takers yet. That's interesting. I wonder if he was reading my posts regarding that guy. He said, I don't know. It was something that was slightly negative regarding FNGR. That there's not going to be any squeeze. And I'm like, dude, what? Like, we've been looking at this from like $2. It's at $7.50. That's already a damn squeeze. Like, what do you mean there's no squeeze? Like, it's already there. It's been happening. So, and the guy said, if you can prove me otherwise, then I'll buy you a nice piece of beef. And I told him A5 Wagyu it is. All right. Dustin White. Dustin, yeah, let's go ahead and check that out. It's just we're getting slammed by Microsoft and by Apple right now. It's already starting to affect Tesla as well and Nvidia. Damn, that is heavy. That is super, super heavy. Let's go ahead and open up FNGR here and pull up the manipulation signals per Dustin White. Thank you, brother. Thank you for coming by. Thank you for saying hello. So let's see what we have here, right? So I'm going to go ahead and try to get rid of some drawings and moving averages so that we can have some space here and not so much, You know what I mean? What I mean, Jelly Bean. Let's go and see the 5 minute. Let's start off with the 5 minute time frame, and let me get rid of the indicators here. Load up composure. Where are you? Where are you? ARQ composure. So this is how. Yeah, man. We're long the SQQQ for sure, right? Okay, and now we're gonna use the Heikinashi candles for a little more sensitivity. We want to see if we're going to catch any of those yellow X's, okay? So yellow X's mark off market manipulation, and that usually leads to price action. Well, I mean, it would usually lead to some negative price action, right? So, like this right here. Get a little quick bump to the upside, and then bam. So the yellow X's is what we're looking for in the current price action. So let's go ahead and get creative here and start looking for manipulation signals on FNGR, because actually that would be a very curious thing to see on all of these time frames. Let's start off with the 30-minute, even the hourly. Screw it. We can catch them. We can catch those signals anywhere, man. We noticed that the other day too, that we caught an hourly manipulation signal, and I think I had even seen a 4-hour one. So since we don't see it there just yet, I think that we should come back down to the immediate short term. So this is the 5-minute time frame, not showing anything there just yet. Let me close this off here, and let's go into the weird time frames, right? Like the 4-minute. Let's see what's good. Wow, Bitcoin moving $1,000. Nice, man. Are we billionaires yet? Says Zephram. Wake me up when we get there. Okay. Nothing on the 4-minute. Let's keep going. We still have a few to go. Okay, nothing on the 3-minute either. Let's see. Let's go to 2 minutes. 2 minutes, no form of manipulation spotted just yet. We're not done. Let's go to the minute time frame. So the minute time frame is saying here that there could be an indication over an end to a current trend. So this may actually start moving to the upside from here, but we still have to, I mean, minute time frames, they're very tiny. And, you know, there's a high rate of invalidation happening within the shorter time frames, of course, naturally speaking. And I'm even down to look at the 30 seconds. These are the 30-second intervals, and we are not catching any type of manipulation here. And is this really? Oh, there's one on the 15-second intervals. Here we go. Which is very curious. That is insanely curious, as price action stopped capitulating and then actually started balancing out. So we have one sign of manipulation here on 15-second intervals. That's incredibly micro time frame. Wow. We still caught one, man. Dustin has like this super eye for this. COSM is moving up now. Wow. Let's see. There we go. Oh my goodness. I mean, where did it close yesterday? Was it 99? Yeah. It literally closed yesterday with a flat red bottom. 99 cents. Wow. That is pretty impressive, man. I'm not going to lie. And that move that you're facing right now from that 99 is up 22% on the day. And at one point, the asset was up around 40%. Incredible. Lauren, you bought at 99. I know you were saying yesterday that it looked so, it looked tempting. Man, you are way in the money, my dude. Hell yeah, still in the morning, man. Good job. John Fredericks, you're waiting on which one, my brother, to break the 44. I know that I'm a little delayed when I reply to everyone, right? But it's all good. Just know that I am here. Let me put this back to regular candles. Oh my goodness. All right. Good deal. And let me go ahead and block the visibility from Composure here and make sure to line up my layer that I originally had, which was, I believe, this. Oh, well, yeah, that's one of them, but no, not that one. There we go. Okay. Oh, right. I didn't even check if I got filled here. Daniel Gonzalez, what is good? Is Nvos moving now or what? ASRE at 37 cents. Thank you for letting me know that. That is... Wow. Does it want to reach down here again? I don't know, but I think this is probably getting slammed with the markets too. ASRE, GTII, all of those. So yesterday we were able to catch entry right at that 35.13, right? If we have a shot at that again, man, I really wish that FNGR would have made his move. I want to add to the bags here. So right, so Nvos guys, is it moving? There we go. Nice. It's coming on up. Moving on up. I have to stick to my guns. I still think that the resistance at 46.55 to 50.19 is a potential likelihood, but I think we have to get over that 44 cent first. I think that's what people were talking about earlier. Now I remember. Maybe it is Cryptic slamming the ASRE, right? Taking the position out so we can get more finger. Ah, dude, that's funny. Oh my goodness, man. Good times indeed. But yeah, that's moving, man. And let's go back to FNGR here as it's still sitting within this area here. Man, I guys, I don't have like that much dry powder left, but this is like, you know, this is it. Like, oh crap, it's moving to 679, right? I mean, that's the bottom side that we were looking for, right? So I mean, that would be the zone to really get long. Okay, let's go ahead and check. Let's see. Is FNGR safe stock to buy? Is all this hype legit? So, the hype is legit. the safeness behind a stock that's currently up hundreds of %, I don't know. But I am long, and so are my mods, and so are a lot of people in this chat. The majority of them. So I was actually talking about this bottom side at around 670 to start getting long there, and I opened up. I put the bid for a limit order, and I actually didn't get filled. So I just want to say that, I guess in full transparency, I was trying to long this right down here in this discount. Safe? Nothing is safe, especially in the financial markets, man. And then also when you're looking at assets that are not really worth a lot of money. This thing has been ripping from $1, you know? Way, way, way down here. Which was actually the this was the fractal that I spoke about to my master students before this thing rallied. So we were observing this. Look, let me go ahead and show you something. Let's look at a master layout. It's cool. And let me type in here AMC. Let me get rid of composure and load the regular candles, right? So, okay, good. Now let's dive into the daily time frame. Let me press. Okay, and let me bring this down. No way. Wow. I was already talking downside. Okay, so yeah, let's go back to this here. This is your these are your runs here for the the upsides that AMC got. The January run and the June run, right? I'm going to show you something. I spoke about it only one time in one video, but I spoke about it to my master students mostly more than anything. Right? So this has been creating a certain fractal, right? So I'm going to go ahead and point it out to you. I'm going to go ahead and point the arrows just like this, right? This peak leading into this peak here. And maybe even, it could even be this, right? So, but the first thing that we want to notice, aside from that, is actually that we have this huge dump right before we get this upside. Another thing is that we actually scooped ourselves on AMC, right? Just like this here. Just like this, right? So this is the existing fractal. Downside, we get these this like head and shoulders looking type thing. We get the capitulation and then we run, right? So now let's go ahead and move on to that next iteration, right? So I can actually just take the copy out of all this. That's how freaking simple it is. Let me just go ahead and pull up my layers and I'll show you. I think I have them right here, right? So actually, let me do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's all good. Let's do it like this. Look, I forgot that I wasn't in a new chart. So we have that downside here, right? We have, do I have the 3 arrows? Yeah, I have the 3 arrows here. So we have the 3 arrows pointing at this, at the peaks right over here, right? And then we have this double accumulation instead of just a single one. And we have liftoff, right? So that is not the only time. GME did the same thing. It did it right before it ran. And the crazy thing here is that this happened a few more times. Right here. We have this drop. right? Let's go ahead and grab the 3 arrows. You have these 3 top sides right here. And then you have your scoop right there. Right? So, and it happened again right here. You have your 3 tops. And then this one just ran up a little bit and then it scooped up to the upside. And it did it a few more times. It's crazy how that repeating fractal happened. Right? So now, if we go back to FNGR, to my master students, I was explaining to them that this could be on a similar fractal. So let me see if I can grab this on the daily. Okay. Let's go ahead and draw it in. We have the downside here, right? And we have the reaccumulation. So then you have your arrows right here. Peak 1, peak 2, peak number 3, which could be either this one or this one here. And then you have your scoop right there. This is that same fractal before the squeeze happened on AMC and GME. So the reason why I pointed at this, it was actually not for the fact that of a run. It was more pointed out because we were observing and studying fractal analysis with the master students, right? So this came up. And in the chat, immediately, I know some of the master students were like, what? Like, so you're saying that FNGR is going to run? And then Sebastian, I remember him, right? Because Sebastian is in that class. Sebastian immediately replied with, my finger, right? with a heart or something. He's like, it's going to run. It's actually going to do it, right? So this was me signaling this to my master students from just under $2. And they knew. So just to let you know, it's a total of 60 master students. So they knew this was going to happen. So massive. Yeah, I just wanted to put that out, right? So just so you can see how I personally was able to identify that this was a repeating fractal and it had the possibility of a run. Although I have to say that I'm not the biggest believer in these things. But it showed consistency here, and I love that the community was able to gain from that. 701, man, check it out. FNGR is recovering here. Guys, come on. Team, I hope you got the freaking entry while I was telling you down here. 704, oh my God. Gee. My goodness. It's already at 1.186 million in volume, team. This is so much. My order got left behind too, dude. I just wanted to put it out there. Like, you guys, I hope you got long this. Joe H, what is up, my dude? Good to see you here. Saying Arca, I'm excited for those in FNGR, dude. Me and all these other people too, man. I thought you were also long it, or did you already take your profits from it? I know you're really good at taking your profits when they're there. Guys, look at that. Yet again, we're upside of the $7 mark, really showing here that there's absolute bull strength. Sasquatch, what do you mean? Let me know. Why are you saying that? Nvos, let's go ahead and find out. What do you know? What do you know? What do you know? Did it come out? Did the news come out? Daryl, you got the yesterday's entry at 643. That's the better one, brother. Yes. Who the heck is that? I don't know who the heck that is. Let's see. Univest is the shell offering. News came out yesterday about Univest. Yeah. Oh, dude, Nvos and FNGR are being played by the same gangsters. Yeah, we know about Univest, guys. We were actually me, Zephram, and Cryptic. We were and I don't know if Sebastian was there, but we were on William's thing. I came in a little late. I actually, just bursted in there at like the last 20 minutes he was live, and I shot him $20. Uninvest. Morty Bojangle saying I accidentally read uninvest, but luckily it's Univest. Lauren Wood, so top financial. Okay, Univest. There we go. This is Team FNGR. If anyone didn't know, ASRE currently making its run to 37 right now. GTII is sitting at 89.90, bouncing right off of that, showing the correlation between FNGR and GTII. It is growing. It don't uninvest. Daniel Borges is saying that they are starting the open market sales today. William just said it's the perfect storm. Nice. So Daryl, actually, I got the entries while adding for the last month. Nice. Yeah. So yesterday, team. Remember, a lot of people were actually. I noticed even more today that a lot of people were hating on the fact that I said we were going to face a pullback. I'm like, dude, this has nothing to do. This has nothing to do with the Univest thing or this with the S3. Sorry. It has nothing to do with that. This is purely a technical pullback. Our RSI was like cooked as hell. Everything was overextended. We wanted to just get a quick little pullback, and that's it, right? So everybody's saying, Arca, you're not going to get this, you're not going to get that, right? So, it's okay. But the team here, we were ready. We had this area right down there, right? We were saying very likely for us to come back down into this area of about 643, right? So one spot 618 correlation, price action came down to 640, then we ripped all the way to 752, good times. Zephram saying, bro, I was waiting for the 3-cent entry. I personally don't think it has the liquidity to run that low right now. Even down to the $3 mark. That would be a serious derailment, man. That would be a serious raping. Oh, whoa, can I even say that? Damn. I said grapes. Graping. I gotta keep my eyes. I gotta keep my. Oh, look at that, 708. Oh, damn. Now, Zephram, I'm gonna delete that comment. So I want the 503 take point. No, we didn't, Sasquatch. We didn't say nothing. We said graping. We were right here smashing grapes to create a fine drink. 707 FNGR and going. Dude, I'm losing it, man. I don't know what to say. I have no idea what to say, but it is ripping, right? So let's see the correlation now in GTII. Check it out. Looking very nice, right? A little bit of a pullback, 86.56 on GTII. No for a fact that I'm still looking for that top side here. I do think that I can make that dollar run. So we're going for a day high. Could it be? Lauren Wood, what are you really long, Gush? You've been talking about gushy for a while now. And guys, the reason why I say it as gushy is because that's my cat. My cat, his name is Gizmo, but I changed his name to Gushy. So, but it has to be twice because he's so damn cute, right? So I love my damn cat so much. I'm not a cat guy, by the way. I hate cats and I'm super allergic, but Gushy, I love him, so so if you have a pet, I know you know what I mean by changing their names, man. It's like you named this guy James, but for some reason he's Gigi, right? So no, Sebastian Lim, refrain from those words. You forgot the G within the grape. ASRE 37 cents, COSM getting that 115. It was just at 121, so a little bit of a retracement there. Viri, where is it at? So 89.75. Guess what? Look at bouncing right from that little zone where Arca wanted to get long, but unfortunately we don't have the FNGR running to the $1 million mark just yet. I was hoping that in this pullback, FNGR would make us dirty rich, and then ASRE would also rip us and get us dirty rich to the upside, and then I would be able to take those gains and long Viri down here at 88.74 to 92.27. Price action over the last 15 minutes has come down to where? 88.50 freaking 8. So that means that my entry at 88.74 would have gotten stupid filled, and I would have been up in the money now. Oh, man. That really sucked. So not legal advice saying Agatha, Aggie pie. Is that Aggie pie? Female ridgeback puppy. And you have to say it twice, right? But with like a cute voice. That voice that you feel really ashamed of when you're speaking to your wife in front of someone and they're like, what did you just say, bro? I'm like, hey, man, don't look at me like that, bro. Right? I'm telling you, man. For me, it's Gizmo. It's gushy. Little gushy. I love you. Literally how I talk to that guy. Right? FNGR, where are you at? Are we going to touch $8 on FNGR today? We're at 710 now. Are our options doing okay? That's the freaking question here. Now, James, are you proposing? Are you proposing a poll here? Because I am no joke. 4 million more volume on COSM will literally be 3 times the free float. So that honestly feels like it was like long one time, right? The whole float, short the whole float, long the whole float. Nvos, let's go back. Sorry, team. Yeah, let's look at it. Okay, why is this now failing, though? Let's see. Okay, well, I see it, dude. It's pressuring. I mean, Apple is still continuing its macro, like, just attack here. So this is pressuring Microsoft too, or Microsoft and Apple are pressuring the markets entirely to the downside. So I see it affecting even ASRE. I see it affecting, in some ways, I see it affecting Viri, right? And also, this is likely why Nvos could be facing it too. It's trying its best. And I feel like it's trying this hard because there is a huge sentiment behind the bull case. No, they weren't. They've been wrong, Yeah, you're right. Okay? But they were right yesterday. So, they were right yesterday, Sebastian Lim. Yeah, we totally were. 710 FNGR looking very good. So at this point, team, I don't know. Let's look at the 30-minute time frame and see what's going down. Let's see if we're catching any. Wow. Okay, so immediate rejection here on the 30-minute RSI. This doesn't look so good that it's pivoting like that at the 50%. ASRE 37 cents. Thank you, James. 1 for 1 if you only count yesterday. Wynam, what's up, man? You're back. You're back and ready to attack. Okay, so the 15-minute time frame, clearly a downside here. We're getting a bearish crossover right now as we speak, and we're getting some negative disbursement, right? So meaning, or dispersion. We're getting outbound cash and contraction. What is the 10-minute saying? Okay, 10-minute with a downside and 5-minute with a downside. That's all cascading into the 30 right now. Damn it. 715. Man. 750 is incoming, says Hail Hydra. It's got to be the truth, man. Lauren Wood, Sebastian is telling you that COSM is looking mighty, mighty, mighty. So this thing here, I feel like it can come down, but I don't know that it can have enough juice to surpass this level here. I'm gonna give you a little support range that it may actually the first of the two right here would be the first one, right? So that would be 34.51 to 35.31, and it looks like I already kind of had it there. And yeah, the second one would be the area of invalidation, which would be this right here. And I'm going to correct it. So let me just go ahead and bring this down to the wick low on the 30-minute. This is invalidation here. So any closure of a 30-minute candle beneath the 32.98 mark would suggest a continuation into that 30-cent level. Okay, so be very mindful over your positions here. But yeah, take a look at this. EMA 55 located at the bottom side of our first range. SMA 50 located at the top side of our second range. And I don't want to say this, but the SMA 100 is there too. So we should really be careful here because all of these are acting supports and they're ready to catch. Look at the SMA 200 at the bottom side of our support here at 28.32. Mind you, we did not draw these with the moving averages there. The moving averages just happened to be there because of the current price action. So there will never be another ticker like Finger again. Sebastian Lim is currently long the float. So we just crossed all of the moving averages on the 5-minute. Very nice. Very on the NVOS, Lauren. Gal saying KSCP up is warming up and it's only up 15%. That is a whole take profit for a day trader. Jennifer, what is up? Good to see you here. Thank you for stopping by. Bye, 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 bye. Jay Abrams, what is good? I'm sorry I just jumped on. Could you tell me what is up with FNGR and GTII? Yeah, sure. You know what? Somebody asked me about GTII too. So GTII is currently in the process of breaking into the mean band here of the Gaussian channel, which has a support at 87.32. Okay, so we need to get, in this case, because I'm looking at this on the daily, then the safest thing for us to do would be to close upside of that mean band. So 87.32 closure of this daily candle would introduce the potential for support on the next daily. And that would be when I think maybe tomorrow we can reach the $1 mark. Right, so I am bullish the asset. Just really, I'm apprehensive or I guess protective, right? So, but it is suggesting a continuation to the upside. Now, as far as FNGR, you know, we were down here in the same zone from yesterday where we suggested that entry. So again, of course, I'm going to naturally say it, right? So we were saying, guys, if this is it right here, this is it. Let's do it. So we were looking at a range to get long between the zones of 653 and 643. And a lot of people came up and said, I actually got the 640 bottom yesterday because that was when we were talking about the 643, right? And we're going to get caught here and then run to the upside since the 630 zone felt like it was a little too low based on the current momentum or that yesterday's present momentum. But today's sell-off actually happened very early. Actually, Welby let me know on a DM. He said, "Hey man, take a look at what's happening." Right? He said that there was a huge short attack or something, man. And I noticed that it dropped all the way down from the 750. I'm like, what the hell? So I don't know, man. But right now we're currently facing a serious area of resistance, of course. It is the 716 mark because of this top side. This is 716 here. So that's going to be a natural area for us to face some pressure, right? It's going to take a little bit of gushy. Okay, so yeah, let me take a look at the positions here because I hope they're finally recovering something. Okay, so Lauren, 10-minute golden cross waiting on the 15-minute crossover on FNGR. Yeah, it's likely to start cascading into each other if that's the case. Look at that. That's looking a lot better now. So the indicator that you're observing here is part of the ARQ series indicators that we have released, right? So these algos are very cleverly paired with several strategies, right? So this is a trend indicator, also pivot indicator, also momentum based using a MACD. And the MACD is built into the price action. As you can see here, when you're oversold, you're red. As you start recovering, you turn orange, turn yellow into green for the overbought levels, right? And then inversely, it changes the colors ever so slightly, leading into red. So the color spectrum here is absolutely for your benefit to observe observe momentum as you're moving to the upside or downside, right? So why I'm talking about this is because look at the color of the candle that we're currently printing. Oh, damn. Look at what happened the last time it did that. Yeah. So that is definitely something that we want to see. So James saying Teddy Zane made a video yesterday about FNGR possibly going to $100. Well, that is not. I said 500. No, I'm just kidding. So yeah, I've been hearing a lot of rumor about the 3-digit targets. My goodness. Could it really happen? This is going to squeeze like a Texas grapefruit. Says science rules. Let's get it. We're not going to say it, Sasquatch. So Cryptic Trader saying this is gonna rupture like Aaron Rodgers ACL. 3-digit target says why now? Saying 999. That is the very lucky. Check it out, team. 715. And yeah, so based on this trend indicator and also the momentum, I like that we're breaking out of this key resistance, right? This huge historical regression. We're breaking out of it, right? This is awesome. We literally haven't seen a candle upside of that regression since back here in October 2022. So I'm just, so if that's the case, then guys, I think we're getting ready here for the run, for a run, right? Yesterday I was talking about the potential of reaching $8 today, but I also didn't think that we were gonna, touch the very core of the earth, right? So hopefully we can get that thing to run. Science Rule saying Univest, yeah, I know, man. This is hopefully that can actually price in finally. No, guys, why are we talking about the other influencers? No. 300 plus. He is long now. Wait, Welby, he did say that? Wow. You guys want to know how I came up with that, by the way? I mean, I could speculate on it. Oh, cool. We're back at that resistance. Exactly at 7. It's exactly 713 to 805. Oh, man, it just passed it. Yeah, boy. I'm looking at $1.10 on COSM. I'm particularly looking at about $1, so not bad. We'll be saying no, don't share it with the team. Don't share. So if you want to see that analysis, all you got to do is check out yesterday's video. It is a half a movie long, but all good. I couldn't even go over the entire play myself, man. It was so damn long. Right? So let's go ahead and see what GTII is doing. 88.97 on GTII. ASRE currently sitting at 37. Let's see the markets. Oh my goodness, what do you know? We're getting some more pressure to the downside here on Microsoft. Look at Apple. Goodness gracious. I think Microsoft is leading it. I think Microsoft is leading the demise here. And it's very interesting, the correlation between FNGR, right, like this, and Microsoft, like that. Right? That feels like a decoupling from the broader markets again. And we were talking about that just yesterday. We were talking about how FNGR has the ability to couple and decouple, which is absolutely amazing for this asset to do, as it's literally going to be an upside, with a bear market, with consolidation in the market, or a bear market or a bull market, right? Nice. So, yep, Microsoft would have been your short if you weren't absolutely loaded in FNGR. I hear that, dude. Getting a little bit of rejection at that 716 top. Remember, team, it's just that resistance from this right here. This is the candle that we're resisting from. That has a 716 top. Reggie Dog, what is up? Hans said the blue chips will be liquidated for FNGR and GTII. Wait. I don't know that. Wait. Hold on. Do we actually have smart money on FNGR? I would think, well, I mean, if I was running a hedge or an institution, I wouldn't long FNGR until it's above $10. As a lot of smart money tends to not. Is that actually true? Do we have institutional ownership on FNGR? I feel like me personally, right? If it was my institution, I probably wouldn't hold anything under $10 whatsoever in my portfolio. I mean, if it is, I guess you would know. I guess, you know, if they are, I guess you would know that, you know, a reason as to why to hold it, though. He said to be careful with the big sticks. With the big stocks, sorry. Could be the Nvos factor. You think so? What's that? But FNGR is testing that top side, man. As Microsoft just bleeds into the ground here, that's really interesting. So we're observing right now an entire decoupling of the broader markets. That is crazy price action, man. And I do have to say that would be the... I mean, if we recover, where did this candle officially open? It opened right here, right at, let's see. At 725. This candle opened at 725, meaning that if the price action recovers 725 and moves to the upside, then it would still be a green candle, right? It's only red because we came below the opening of the candle, right? So this is the first candle that I'm seeing to be at risk of being printed red over the last 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 consecutive green candles on a daily time frame. I mean, as a whole group, it's 714 right now. Nice. As a whole group, we could probably move the market too. And how? I don't mean by suggesting a buy. I'm talking about the paper trading in TradingView. Hit the link in the description below to get your subscription, right? But yeah, I'm talking about the sell position. So if like everyone in one shot put the sell position at $150, where do you think the algos are going to want to go? Right? So imagine just gathering like the million holders and saying, all right, let's all just put the sell at $150. Let's get it there. Okay, so, what should we buy? I got 20,000 ready. Let's go. Let's go. Oh, man, 151 in the chart. Hit the like button, please, says Hail Hydra. Please go ahead and hit that like button so we can finesse that algorithm, get some more viewers in here, right? Share the good times with the family and observe the markets and trade the markets more than anything, right? Very good times here. I will put 90K shares to sell at $150 then. Sebastian Lim, did you guys just hear that? Sebastian Lim holding 90,000 shares of FNGR, and he's about to put a sell limit of $150. My bro, I don't even know that your freaking broker will let you. So Key, has GTII validated the 80 cent resistance to support yet? No, actually it would be with the daily closure. So we need this day to close in 4 hours and 28 minutes. So it's like I said, right? We're going to be kind of fluctuating up and down GTII here. So, but yeah, as long as we can get that closure upside of the 87, it changed just a little bit. It's not 87.32 anymore. It's 87.46. So yeah, if we can get that closure upside of that on this daily candle, that would mean that the next candle would be the one to try to validate. Now, if the other candle has a wick below that 87.46, then we're going to need another daily candle to close upside of it without any body or any wick to the bottom side of it. So a clean closure upside of this area here. I mean, to be honest, even I guess even a 12-hour or an 8-hour would do it for me, to be honest. But since I'm observing here on the daily time frame, I feel compelled to sticking to that rule. Right? So Ian Tucker saying, Arca, when quiet period, so that's actually 8 minutes from now, we should be contracting and slowing down soon. This right now, look at the time. I'm sorry, what time is it? It's 8:32 a.m. Sorry, about 28 minutes away into that quiet period. That is usually when the algos start shifting. So first of all, we gotta identify that time. 10 a.m. here Pacific time means 12 in New York, and 12, as you all know, is lunchtime. So contraction usually happens there. Lots of day traders close out positions by 9 a.m. And then a lot of day traders start to close out positions as well around 10 a.m. So 10 to 10:30. So we have short sellers covering their positions as day traders, which is why the algo shifts. You start to see an increase in price in some of the failing assets. And we've been observing this day in and day out. So yes, one more time just to reiterate here for GTII, if you're new in the chat, go ahead and know that you want here a daily closure upside of 87.46, which would be the mean of the Gaussian channel. Okay, if we do get that closure upside of that 87.46, the next candle would be the validation candle for a continuation. I do believe that the next candle, meaning the next day, tomorrow, we may actually have a shot here at testing that $1 top. So I'm selling top side of GTII and FNGR 1K. Jay, you're gonna get rid of those that position. If Sebastian sells, we will know the stock will move. He's gonna increase the supply, which means that the downside would be immediately inevitable. Roger saying 10 a.m. Pacific is 1 p.m. Eastern. Right. So so usually I say 9:45 to 10:30. That's when the shift changes. Thank you. I get so confused because of the central time being 2 hours ahead. Dustin White, let's see. Everyone on E-Trade, I have 10% of my shares set to sell at 3. Are you serious? You can on E-Trade you could put $390. That is insane. I don't even know that Fidelity will let you do that here. I did, Roger. Could be mistakenly looked at, right? But yeah, usually around 9 a.m., whatever time that is, you'll see how it so that would be 9 a.m. would be I'm sorry. So yeah, 9, 10, 11, wasn't that the 3-hour difference? 9 a.m. is 12? Is that not it? Am I tripping here or what's going on? Roger saying he put 350 on Webull. That is incredible. Hold on just a sec, team. Yeah, it's 11:35 a.m. right now. And I said that in 28 minutes at 8:32, I said that in 28 minutes, it would be noon. So 9 a.m. here is lunchtime in New York. Is that, I mean, that's got to be it. No. 10 a.m. to 10:30 is when it comes back in. So so we're looking at a gap. We're looking at a gap between 9 a.m. and 10 to 10:30. So I said that at 9 a.m. is when things entirely slow down. So because it's noon. Well, for you it is, right? So for me, I'm in Pacific time. It's going to be 9 a.m. in 24 minutes. And it's 11:36 in New York right now. So just relative to I'm way in California, so I have the entire 3-hour lag. The real Ace Wang, what's up? How you doing? Sorry, somebody was asking me to point to the upside. Dustin. Arca scroll up like 15. What? Man. Yours? I did say that. that you were able to put your E-Trade at your 10% at around 390. And I think that's why Roger ended up replying to you saying that he was able to put it at 350 on Webull. Lauren said, never mind, it's 11. So Rosy Gray Glasses, Univest Algo, set to bullish all day. Let's go ahead. Let's put it to buy. That would be good. That would be good. There we go. So 11 Barrios is saying that 11 won't allow 300. SL, they sold almost 400,000 at the market to drive the stock lower. So they're all underwater now, said Ham. That's cool. So Jay Abrams is saying I have E-Trade set good till cancel order at 1,500. It's like just to give it a quick little hint to the market makers. If you're trying to favor liquidity, you're gonna find it in the 3 digits, brothers. So FNGR, where is it at? Let's go ahead and see. Wow, we're still facing that. We're still facing that resistance. But yeah, team, I think that leading into maybe, I want to say maybe 9:45ish, 10 a.m. I think that's when we're gonna start. Or if we can reach around 9:30, I think that's when we're gonna start seeing the upside. Leading into 9:45, 10 a.m., we're gonna start recovering the top if everything plays out the way we want it to. And then we can make that continuation to the upside. So Sasquatch saying Fidelity would only let me put in a good till cancel order at $42. That is terrible. So Steve Mertz, TD will will allow whatever price you want. Just have to add a condition to your good till cancel order. So KD, TD allowed me to set a $100 target, and I started at $350. So went down by $50 until it allowed. Okay. Nice, good way to do it. Sunil, how you doing? My sell orders start from 60 all the way to 999, and that's Questrade in Canada, right? So E-Trade allowed $1,000, says Robert White. So if it goes to 500, that's 8,620% increase for me, bro. That doesn't sound like a win at all, right? Oh my goodness. Jabba Rumba, what's up? Schwab has a limit. First Trade and Interactive Brokers allow any price. So apparently, okay, check it out, team. 718. Wow, nice. We just got the 716 top. Very, very nice. Barefoot by DC Fidelity max sell for FNGR is around $42. I'm hearing it now for the second time that Fidelity is only allowing about $42 as the top side. So Jay Abrams, I have high figures on shares and on both GTI and FNGR, and I believe 3 figures and 1K top. Finger is going. Currently using the 716 as support right now. So Dustin White, Arca, the chat, Univest filed an S3 form to buy 300 million. I can't find it to verify, but that's the rumor. And the company has a history of wrecking shorts in any stock it invests. That news came out, Dustin. That news came out early yesterday. 719 FNGR ripping. So that was the sell-off. The sell-off happened in fear of that, right? It shook everyone out. No, not a problem, you guys. It's all good. Yeah, I think the SEC, the SEC.gov website would have that. But I mean, isn't that good news though? Guys, please let me know in the chat. Wasn't that good news that we received? At least that's what William, I think he was saying that last night, wasn't he? So I don't know if that was, I don't know what to make of that. Oh, dude, this is, let me get rid of the moving averages here for GNS. Yeah, so Hail Hydra is saying that's great news. SL as well. Lauren also saying, and also Morty Bojangles is saying that it was great news. Kitties Never Die, same thing. Yeah, so I think there was just a confusion, right? It was just a little bit of a confusion here within retail. We got spooked by the wrong reason, or they just shorted even more on any reason to create fear. To feed off of psychology, right? And to trigger stops or whatever. If you're triggering stops, that means you're increasing the supply, which means negative value, right? You're going to create weight. It's just the fact that no price per share, right? So Sasquatch Fidelity, good till cancel order at $42 equals 611%, not even close to the 8,000 seen earlier in the chat. Fidelity protecting, their business model. I agree. Yeah, and also Barefoot is saying that it was good news. I really do think that it was a quick little. I think that they may have just. It may not even have been retail who sold. It may have just been a quick little burst to the downside, a quick short to create fear. The fear was initially in the after hours yesterday, says Kitties Never Die. Then when everyone realized what really happened, it skyrocketed. Today seemed like a desperate short attack. Yeah, that kind of is what it feels like, right? Jennifer's agreeing too. Yeah, but so I hear that the actually, did you see that somebody said that they were trying to look at that SEC website and they weren't able to find it? Oh yeah, SL, I have noticed that. And actually people are starting to think that I'm one of those because I'm saying that we're going to face a downside or that we're going to face this. Man, so many people started bashing on me for saying that there's going to be a pullback. I'm like, whoa. I'm not talking about a reversal. I'm talking about a pullback. We're about to just get long on the pullback. You just skipped on my channel here. Get out of this good vibe. We're not talking about no reversal. I mean, we've been long on this for a long time. So no. And all these people are already attacking me like, oh, you want to see, oh, you like the short thesis. Oh, you blah, blah, blah. Who the hell are you, bro? Like, no, that's not it. So yeah, Roger is saying that people misunderstood the S3 and the FUD that that's there about dilution. So, close their positions after hours. Yeah, it could have been that. Sure. It could have been a combination of take profit, in fear out of the potential risk to the downside. Yeah, I totally agree. But I do think I do have to still say that it was kind of an overreaction, just no matter which way you look at it, which is usually what happens, when you have these events, these types of fundamental releases. Today you can have a good earnings report and then tomorrow your stock is freaking down. So how does that happen? Well, I don't know. Ask Netflix, right? When it dumped 22% from having a great earnings report a few months ago, right? So that's insane. I'm just, it's a huge speculation here. So I just wanted to kind of put that out there like that. So I am noticing here on GNS that there is a formation at play. And it's a very interesting one at that, I do have to admit. So it's a pennant, okay? So I mean the thing is that it's very dangerous at the point where it's at, okay? I am very scared over what's happening here within GNS. Why am I saying that? Well, it broke down at a very, very healthy level for this type of play. Let me see. Here it goes, like that. And like this. So contact, breakdown, validation of resistance, continuation. Okay? So whenever you print a pennant like this or a symmetrical triangle, whenever you print it after a downside or during a downside, this converging of price is usually the continuation to the downside. So Now, where would it go though? First of all, this would be the official breakout candle, right? So because it would more than likely close in 12 minutes and 40 seconds clean beneath. Oh, actually no, it would be the next one. So it would be here. This one is still touching the inside of the channel. So let me see if I can adjust just in case. Nope. I think yeah, it's not gonna. It needs to validate. It needs to validate still. Another 4-hour candle print beneath this resistance. But to tell you the truth, it looks like the downside is going to start in 12 minutes. And that downside initially may bring you down to this target first, 104. Or let's see, let me just highlight it. 104, yeah. And of course, 104 has a little bit of a range. So let's go ahead and draw that in. So keep an eye on this, 11 minutes and 54 seconds, okay? This could be a validation for a short here. We have to identify that. So 104 to 102 would be the range of this first drop. The second drop would be the center of the triangle. Okay, so right around here, just eyeball it, right? I think this is pretty good here. We'll draw from the top trend all the way to the bottom trend, and you apply to the breakout candle, right? So that's leading to a target that's 92.90. 92.73, sorry. So let me go ahead and draw you that range now. It would likely be this. 90.79 to 92.73. And there is one more target, unfortunately. It is the top side of the triangle. Okay, so the longest side, the widest point. And then, just like always, right, you apply it to your breakdown. And this is now suggesting a target that would take us to a very curious area, because this was the bull flag that had us run up. I think the higher probability here, I don't know if it's supposed to be getting some good news here, but if this gets a confirmation for downside, I feel like this one would be the higher probability bounce zone, because this is right when price action, made this huge rip. So now, naturally, I have to give you a support. I'm just saying resistance because of the short thesis. We're looking at price action towards the downside. So these are supports, resistances to the downside. But no, there's one more support here because we're talking long, since you are long the asset, right? So 81.59. Your bottom side is right at the open of this red candle here, and that would be 79.55. So these are the three areas that this is potentially going towards. Now let's validate. 30-minute time frame. Momentum versus volatility, suggesting a downside right away. And we're expanding, so it's meaning that it's about to hit the gas on a downside. Let's see the 15. Same situation. Downside pivot we're expanding here. Yep, downside pivot. It's literally saying that. Okay, so I don't know about the 5-minute time frame. I feel like that's about to make a little bit of an upside for some reason, which would be actually the entry for shorts. So it's currently sitting at 108. There could be an upside to about 109, and that could be the position short, right? So now let me see back to the 15-minute downside. 30-minute downside. The hourly time frame is starting to curve here, and the hourly RSI is about to face that resistance on the RSI signal. The SMA 14. So yeah, and I mean, if we're looking at other metrics here, there is outbound cash, so there is sell pressure happening right now. Here's that upside. Let's see if it breaks into the 109, and then I believe that could be a good point to get short this asset. So be very careful, as I personally see the downside more likely than not. And remember, it's not a personal bias. It's just because this is how to trade a pennant when during a downside. Let me see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think this would be the higher likelihood. 90.99 to 92.73. Man, it could be a violent fall. I'm not sure if it's gonna knife down but I feel like it wants to let go. We have decreasing volume. So I'm not sure if somebody's going to get that in 7 minutes and 40 seconds. I'm not sure if somebody's just going to get that thing to rip to the downside. Is it possible to go to $2 again? Let me look at the larger time frames. Where's FNGR at, team? Let me know. Let's see. Holy crap. Brother, this is building a very bearish formation right now. Damn. If this is really what's happening here, bro, wow, that would be not good. So we're potentially looking at, yeah, I mean, I see it here. It is there. So we're potentially looking at a head and shoulders as well on the larger time frame. And that looks like it could that looks like it could drop here. And if that's the freaking case, man, I hope it really isn't. But damn, dude, that finger at 720, rip it. 30 million in volume, says Dylan for COSM. 722 FNGR. Let's go. Okay, brother. Oh man. I can't tell you what to do. Okay? I can't tell you what to do, but I recall a similar situation with a friend regarding COSM. And he said, I have a lot of exposure in COSM and I can't, will it come back up? And I said to him, I mean, we're going to be facing some downside here. So if you feel conviction behind the asset, if you believe in the asset, then you could always leave a little bit of exposure, but I would start relieving myself the rate of loss. Meaning that if I know that it's going to drop, I'm going to remove 35% of that rate of loss. So I'm going to slow my losses down by 35% by removing 35% or 40 or 50. Because the further downside it goes, you're still 100% exposure towards losses. Right? So I don't know that it's not going to bounce. I don't know that it's going to. But what I do know is that it's on a bearish formation, and this is likely a bearish buy formation. So you have the head and shoulders on a larger time, and then you have your pennant during the downside, which is suggesting downside. So now the most terrible part of this is that if this head and shoulders does realize, then that would probably be the worst thing that could happen to this asset, right? And let me go ahead and see if I can draw a neckline here. Very likely this is the neckline here. That means that, damn, that's huge. That is massive. That means that this price action would eventually reach 37.56. And what is that? Wow, 37.56 was the area before it bounced. And damn, is it really that connected? Is it really that consistent? And it's also part of this regression. So, damn. Brother, yeah, man, I don't trust what's happening here. And I don't know if there's bad news coming out or why it's showing that it could be failing this largely. Chat Vivian, I don't care about popularity. I care about retail. You know me, my brother. I do not give one hell about what they think. I'm not here for the emotions. I'm here for retail. I have no exposure or any reason to talk about GNS whatsoever other than a request. And I will give my personal opinion on it. Chad Vivian, good to see you here, my bro. Sorensen, if there is a rip FNGR, I think GTI will explode too. Yeah, it looks like the correlation is starting to pair together. Man, I hope that's not the case, man. I really hope not. But it's just, there's just so much. There's just so much. Weekly time frame downside pivot in the bearish control zone. Let me see macro time. Let's see. Could it be? No. Let me see the monthly. Let me get rid of the drawings. Huge indecision on the monthly. 7-day close still. Where's 37 cents? Damn it, dude. That is a massive drop, brother. I hope that's not the case, man. I really hope that's not the case. This should have been this right here. This should have been the well. I mean, it's arguably a little bit of a hammer, right? In the after a downtrend, right? This one too. So this candle here was enough of confirmation actually for a continuation to the upside. Although I don't like that we have a long wick to the upside because it shows that the buyers are actually getting rejected. I don't know. I don't know, right? So yeah, I think Gal is right. Let's go ahead and take a look at the manipulation signals, because if we can't find a fundamental reason behind this facing downside, then let's see if it's actually getting it algorithmically. So let's go to Heikin-Ashi candles and load ARQ composure. And let's look for the manipulation signals here. All right, so we're going to start off with the hourly time frame. Let's catch a yellow X, okay? We're looking for, wow, I mean, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4 days. Yeah, 4 days ago we got manipulated, but this was an upside manipulation, meaning stopping the downside. So in just a couple days before that, manipulation signal there, manipulation signal right there with the yellow X. Those are all for pressure to the downside. And look at this. Manipulation steps in here and then bam. That's really interesting. This thing is highly manipulated. Look at these. Manipulation up and then dump. Manipulation, dump. Look at these over here. Oh my goodness. Wow. No freaking way. This thing is just not even low key. Not even low key. Dylan, which one did he drop, brother? So now let's go ahead and see, right? Because these are just a few days ago. Let's go ahead and see if we can catch any recent ones within the shorter time frame, meaning here. So actually, wow, 1, 2, 3 days ago, there's 2 of them right here. Let's keep going. That really sucks, man. That really sucks. I can't believe how manipulated this is. 1, 2, yeah, 3 days ago. Check it out. Very consistent manipulation signals. Yeah, you're right. We're gonna have to go and take a look at that right now. So I just want to finish off here real quick. Load. Come on. We're officially in the quiet period, team. Okay, we're not getting any manipulation signals on the 5-minute. Let's move through this. Let's breeze by it. 4-minute, nothing. Oh, yesterday. Nice. We got a manipulation signal there yesterday with a huge dump. And then a really weird recovery. Let's go to the 3-minute time frame. Twice yesterday into 3 minutes. See the buy minute time frame. Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4 times yesterday. Nothing for today just yet. That is incredible. The minute time frame getting 1, 2, 3 from yesterday. Here it goes. Today. Today, this thing got slammed to the downside. From 111 to 106. Huge capitulation. It got slammed right there at the open. The first thing this did was actually push it beneath this pennant. Let's even look at the 30-second interval. Yeah, no, nothing there, but the minute time frame gave it out. Got a huge manipulation signal here right at the open today. Damn it, man. Double X, that GNS CEO is a desesperado. Can't be trusted. He came on the scene like a hero. He's no good. So yeah, watch that GNS, man. I have to agree. It feels like they are not done riding this thing towards the downside. Please be very, very, very careful with this asset. I do not trust it. I do not trust it, and I feel like something is just telling me that this thing is gonna fail. I don't know what it is. I don't know why. We're noticing it. We're noticing all the price action. It's just, that's what it is. The new 4-hour candle has started, and now we're at 107. It was at 108, 109. Let me bring up the regular candles. Yeah, let's go ahead, team. Let's go ahead and see what Daniel Borders is saying. Let's pull that up real quick. So GNS share count will be the time to buy. Oh, so there's gonna be a share recall or a buyback, or what is it? Let's see. Avid call with Borders started. Yeah, that's where I'm going right now. Let's go ahead and take a look. Let's listen in.
Haven't seen before. And when we even look back last year, right, we saw it was 1010 pre-market and 980 in the open market here. And it took about 8 days to get from 64 cents all the way to that top there. By the time it got to like 13 days, it was already peaked out and getting hammered down. We're on almost 100 days of the this uptrend. This
727
at the beginning of June.
Woo!
We're now 3 months later, and the stock is now at a 10-month high. So this is just a whole nother ball game of money and power and just people coming together, and I think seeing the same things and finally, being able to meet their match from a short seller, because we know that there's a lot of aspects to the market maker side, the benefits that they get, and being able to sell stock and especially write call options naked. And that brings me into my next point. What I think is going to be, just detrimental is how much contracts have been sold, how high the IV on all of them are. We see 6,000 already traded today. I personally don't believe that, all these calls are covered on the back end. I don't believe all the stock being sold in blocks is actually bought on the back end. And, if we get to a certain price, I think it's going to eventually hit a trigger point or some sort of threshold that's going to cause what we see as like a short covering or a rally in that manner. So I've made my predictions pretty bold on finger, but pretty much to just keep it short and simple. I talked about that article in the video to try and clear up any issues in terms of the company needing cash. That's something I hear a lot, is though they don't have a lot of cash, they need cash. It's not necessarily true, because they had an active S1. They had $5 million in cash in hand, which they paid off the note. So if they needed the cash, they could have also raised money. There was plenty of securities or options there, warrants, stock, whatever they could have issued and got more capital from it. They don't want the capital. And I think that was very clear, especially with the issuer that they were dealing with, which was Lind Global Funds, Lind Partners, and they wanted to really get rid of someone that's not very friendly. Bringing in Univest, again, just looking at their track record, we say it all the time, you can't compare a stock. It's never going to be one-to-one. The cap structure is different, the sector, everything about the stocks are different, but just in terms of the traits, right, in terms of where it's headquartered at, it's a NASDAQ stock, they're low float, they're very tightly owned, a lot of insider ownership. I think it, again, makes a really good cause for, what could potentially be. And we've seen their past work. We've seen just how incredible they are with GDC, which they did an offering in May. The stock went 2 to 40 in a day. $43 went up 41 points. We've seen Top. They took them public a year ago in May. They went 5 to 50 on the offering. And then again, I think they had a very similar shelf to how Finger Motion does, where they have 300 million available. And then they went round two. We saw that back in April of this year, where it went round two and it went from $6 to $2.60.
$7.29.
So again, the situation, the circumstances that we're talking about, NVOS and NEOV and Finger and all these other tickers, they're just different, right? They're not just your regular day trade where it's only retail and, it goes up a couple points and then it gets rug pulled, right? That happens a lot. That happens in most cases, right? When it comes to these hype tickers. I agree with that statement. But again, when you have the financial backing that you're seeing here, when you have friendlies that have, exponentially greater firepower than any one market maker or short seller can throw at this, it's a really good feeling. It's a strong feeling that retail has. The confidence is back. People are, really putting their money where their mouth is. And I'm just beyond excited there. And I think I covered it, pretty quickly.
Whoa,
There's a lot
734,
of, like we said, open interest,
737.
but
Let's
I'm
go.
going to leave it to you there. If there's anything else with Finger, it looks great. It's blowing up, and I'm just excited to be along for the ride.
Damn.
Yeah, to say that people are putting their money where their mouth is the understatement of the year. You've got, I don't know, you see on Twitter when somebody says, go Duke. That's one guy. But that one guy heads up a group with about $250 billion behind them. What you're seeing right now, if you want to pay particular attention to FNGR and Nvos, is those guys and a dozen guys like them seriously pissed off about the shorts in these deals and the way they're essentially just continuing to counterfeit shares.
We got the old Merlin phone system.
Selling them, knowing that there's no way in hell they'll ever be able to cover them, knowing that they're probably going to be bankrupted, but also knowing at the same time that the SEC is not really enforcing any of these, laws that are supposed to prohibit this naked short selling. You've got these guys out there paying reputable analysts on Wall Street from major firms to write hit pieces, to write pieces that say the naked short selling is a myth. You should be insulted by this. If you're an investor of any kind, retail or otherwise, you should be insulted when they tell you it's a myth. You see what's going on in these stocks every day. How does NVOS trade 61.5 million shares in the first half of the trading day? And I know, because we did 10 million of it, all on the buy side, all at the offer, 1 million shares at a time, just to see if they'd fill us. And they fill it instantly. 1 million shares, insta-fill. And then 1 million shares more, they break it down. They show it as a bunch of 30,000 and 50,000 share bids. And they're filling them knowing there's no way they'll ever be able to cover it. You look at Finger right now, at least these guys are trapped. We know who the short is. We know how much they're short. We know that they are going to be forced to cover. And we know that Lind Partners has Jefferies to cover what they're not able to. Lind might bankrupt. Jefferies isn't going anywhere, and they'll cover it and they'll eat it because we want them to, because they're caught. In NVOS, we haven't actually identified the specific short. We believe it's Citadel. We believe they're perpetrating that short through Fidelity. Those are two powerhouses. But if you understand who's buying these stocks, who is trying to squeeze these dirtbags out of your deals, it's guys with more money than these market makers. And it's 18, 20, 25 guys with more money than the market makers individually. I don't care how much money Fidelity or Citadel or Lind Partners or Jefferies controls. These are guys that want those guys to trade true and have the money to force it. That's what you're seeing in these stocks over the last couple of days, over the last several weeks, really. And it's going to continue because we're not going to quit until they do. I've said it several times, and I will reiterate it right now. We're not going anywhere.
Yeah, there's
They will
definitely, I hate when people say the naked shorting myth because it just doesn't make sense. Anyone that actually watches the ticker consistently on a day-to-day basis, you could easily see it. Easily see it. And I talk about this on two other tickers where we looked at, let's say Mango, for example, was one where I watched that in IPO, and there's like maybe 10 million in the float, all locked up, trades 120 million back and forth. Let's go a year back to Finger Motion when it was in September. That stock traded 73 million shares in one day. The float was 6 million back then. It was 4 million held at the DTC a year ago. It traded 210 million shares in 3 weeks. There's just simply not this. It just doesn't exist. You know what I'm saying? It just does not exist. So when people make statements like that, it's crazy. Sure, there is no data provider that's going to tell you here's the naked short, but also that same data provider that you're getting for short interest is self-reported. So
Yeah, but and that's the problem is the SEC can force them to show the trades that they made, the stock that they sold, and say, okay, how do you intend to cover this trade? You created this IOU. You sold 1 million shares. You created an IOU. How do you purport you're going to deliver that stock that you sold in the time frame allotted for you to do so? And they go, oh, we'll handle it. And the SEC goes, oh, okay. And then they have their hand out and palms get greased and they turn a blind eye until Shorty figures it out. It's pathetic. The system it's rigged. You know this. What we're doing is fighting back against that rigged system with more money than they have.
and
That
that I
You're
don't think. I think that's the key,
got
though.
together to combat
Yeah, I think
this.
that's the key, though, is that we've never really had a friendly of this size all band together. I mean, the same way that these shorts do it, they all would. It's not one person. It's not. Look at any of these stocks, ASRE, any of these smaller caps, OTCs. You see, as there's momentum, as there's traction, you see them all piling in. Right? We all know the tags. We all watch them. So I think this is one special point where you're watching something and you're having, the biggest gangsters, if you want to say, on the street come together and essentially fight back pro retail and go long on the stock. I mean, they're not shorting it, but they're definitely fighting against people with that same sort of firepower that are just simply on the opposite end of the trade. So that's another key point that I really want to make for when I'm making these big or these bold statements on Finger. It's knowing that you're having people that have more size than anyone trying to knock the stock down. And look at today. I made a statement right off the bat when Finger hit 640. I said, keep shorting it because all you're doing is digging your own grave. That's all they're doing, and they're not going to be able to get out of this.
If you want to see another example, look at my NeoVolta stock, NEOV. They put out news today that a $14 billion company called Mosaic has partnered with them, and they like the product line so much that they fast-tracked the entire product line into their pipeline. That's a $14 billion company. The year over year for NeoVolta is going to go from about 4 million and change to over 100 million in revenue at about 26, 28% EBITDA on that 100 million plus. The stock's down 28.5 cents today on monster news. This is the mentality that drives me crazy, is if you know a company is about to grow at an exponential rate, why do you sell the stock? Because the news telling you that just came out. The buy on rumor, sell on news is what kills you. That's the retail mentality.
No good news goes unpunished.
Right. But you've got a $14 billion partner going, this shit's so good, we're going to fast track it into our quotes. We're going to fast track it out to our customers. We're going to give them all kinds of leeway to put this in front of people. These guys, all they do is move product. So how exactly do you put out news that that's your new partner and your stock goes down? There's no way in hell in a normal environment. I mean, it's clearly a short. We knew there was 20% of the float short in there. And these guys just don't like to lose. They don't like to give up the ghost. I'm going to pound on all of those deals with our partners until they crack. It's that simple. They don't have to like it. I don't care how dirty they play. My partners don't give a shit what they say, what they do, or how dirty they get. I'm going to break them.
Now, do you think that a
And they
lot
are
of
on board, and they're
these
on
big
board long.
shorts and a lot of the times where you don't see, any covering or any, a lot of FTDs build up, do you think this is mainly just a relationship based with the market maker, whoever they're, whoever's managing their books? Because it seems like, again, there has to be that relationship there present for you to continue to short and continue to be on margin and double down without hitting some sort of threshold. And I think.
Again, you understand when they naked short a stock, they're creating an IOU. The problem is these market makers are complicit. They know, and sometimes they are the perpetrator themselves that are the ones shorting the stock, betting against it, and they'll just fill orders hoping they can pick it up down the line when the stock falls apart. It's not going to happen here in any of these. The biggest problem is, like, we put in the million share orders on Nvos. The market maker takes a million share order that would normally scare the shit out of a short, and he breaks it up into 10 different orders. So you can't see the size that these guys are bidding for or that these guys are throwing at the offer. The market makers are trying to help their friends who are short by, they'll pull shit like backfilling orders from the pre-market at 10:30 a.m. when the stock's running. They'll backfill stuff that they printed at 8:10 a.m. at a lower price. They'll post that actual print at 10:30 to help the shorts and make the stock look weak. It's bogus, but you understand all the tricks they
Happened
have
today.
up their sleeve. It's disgusting, and they're still going to lose.
Now, how do you see, like, you think that, again, the prime's going to end up taking it on the chin here?
I mean, they're paying an exorbitant amount of money in interest for the borrow, and then they're naked short on the balance of it. At some point, we're gonna get to a breaking point where the SEC has to step in. The reg show list is a joke. The enforcement is a joke. At some point, the people are going to come out and say enough, and the SEC is going to have to listen.
So how do you think we hit a certain threshold? And the only reason I made that, relationship-based comment is just having more leeway, having more room to know, okay, we've had our account with you for 20 years and you're always providing liquidity, and they want to do business. A lot of times, it's incentivized to actually not make your client cover, not make them deliver. We know in the end of the day for a prime, it's actually more profitable to buy their client in, especially if the stock's going to squeeze. So that's not a problem for them. But just in terms of hitting that threshold, like, it seems very difficult to break stocks. Like, it gets to a certain point, it looks like it's about to break out, looks like it's about to squeeze, bang, gets fucking knifed. So I'm always trying to figure out, how do you, obviously it's a different game. This is not just a purely retail driven stock, and there is a real gamma squeeze potential, but how do you go through that in your head if you're looking at it, oh, it's 10, it's 11, it's, the trigger is there any method you have to that? Or, because it seems very difficult to break these guys.
I mean, it's a case by case basis. I mean, you're pretty much the whiz kid on technicals. You know that at a certain level there should be a breakout. The problem is when you hit that level and the shorts know you hit that level and they know the stock should break out, they get more aggressive and attack it harder. The fact of the matter is, in the case of these deals that we're working on right now,
742,
with
what up?
FNGR, with NEOV, with NBOS, with MONI, I know you guys talk a lot about GTII. You've got people singing all over the street about a short and ASRE. I mean, I hear them all. I get calls about them all. At some point, they're going to break. At some point, there will be some enforcement. At some point, Gensler's going to get the boot. until that point, you've got guys like myself, you got guys like the Duke, you've got guys, the money coming in out of China, you've got guys like Univest who are just fed up.
Do you think that this is
And
really
they
going to
have
change? I mean, do you think the actual structure of the market's going to change? Because I believe all you have to do. I know the government, what they like to do, not getting political, just in everything. They like to break everything down, rip it down, bare bones, start it again. I don't think it's necessary to do that in our markets if you just simply enforce what needs to be enforced. I think it's almost impossible with how big of a problem just market wide it's created with shorting and with having a lot of, false stock or IOUs, whatever you want to consider it in the market. Do you think it's a problem that can simply be fixed, or does it need a complete overhaul, revamp? Like, what do you think, just in terms of like the remainder of your investing career, you're going to see play out?
It doesn't need a complete overhaul. What it needs is enforcement of the existing rules. If you sell 1 million shares of a stock and you say, "Oh, I'll cover that," and you have, as a market maker, 5 days to cover that, the SEC or FINRA, whoever the hell it is that actually walks in the door and says, "Hey, we saw 1 million share trade. You filled it. It hasn't been delivered to the end buyer. Fill it. You have till 5 o'clock." That's how you fix this.
Do you think
It's
that'll
that
ever
simple.
be a reality, or anytime soon? That what you just said right there?
Realistically, yeah. It's a matter of putting people in place at the head of that particular agency that are more interested in the right thing happening and less interested in their own wallet. And that's, people like that are few and far between. Myself and the guys I'm working with, Gary, who yourself, guys like us are we're not exactly heading up the SEC. Finding people who are less interested in their wallet and more interested about doing the right thing, pretty
Very
rare.
difficult. Very difficult.
Very difficult. But as soon as you get one of those guys at the head of one of those organizations, or as soon as one of these massive naked short stocks like Finger, for example, breaks, they're going to get the message and maybe they just go cover.
Holy
They don't
hell.
want us coming after them. I want what we're doing to scare the shit out of these guys. I want them to know the hammer is coming and it's going to get buried in their skull if they short my stocks. It's that simple. And at some point, when we break a couple of these, that's the message you're going to get. And they're going to know as soon as I post it on my Twitter or I send somebody a text message, "Hey, I'm working that," they'll know to get the hell out of the way.
Well, it seems like that's exactly what's happening right now.
Is Finger.
When
Prime example is Finger right now. They had this thing down to 640. It's at 746, 748.
Let's go.
We're not stopping. I'm going to break them there. We're going to break them in everything we're working on right now. And then we're going to pick different issues one at a time to bring billions and billions and billions of dollars into and say, "Hey, guess what? We're coming for you. You have an opportunity right now to go and cover at this price point, or we're going to beat the shit out of the stock. We're going to kick your ass. It's going to cost you 10 times what it would have cost you had you covered when you should have." Really, that's
yeah, I want to bring that.
It's hammer time, boys. It's hammer time.
A lot of times, people say big numbers, right? And then there's nothing wrong with thinking that if you watch the trade every day and you believe there's some, big short there, great. I think about it as very, very simple, very
Whoa,
basic
749. Let's
covering,
go.
right? A lot of guys are like 200-300 million. First of all, there's just simply not that many shares that you would even be able to cover, right? 200 million, it's impossible. But let's just say it did happen, right? Stock would be like Berkshire Hathaway. It'd be a 6-digit stock if it was real stock that hit the market, right? And that's not the case. I think if it was a couple 100,000, just to cut myself off here, Finger just broke a new high of the run of the sequence, starting to melt up here, 756. But either way, I think if it was even, let's say the number was 5 million, right? Couple million real shares got executed by a computer, whether it's a market maker or a prime, whatever, that bought that position in, and no instructions, buy 5 million shares at market, whatever price, that type of covering, even if it was 1 million shares, even if it was 500,000 shares that hit right now, this stock would blow up at least 2-3 points. It would absolutely just go parabolic off such a small amount of stock. So I think that's the one thing
Agreed.
people are not understanding, is they're saying it needs hundreds and
No
hundreds of millions.
way!
No, a lot of that, what you're seeing, is washing. A lot of that back and forth is cross trading, trading amongst one another. That's when you're seeing 200 million shares trade in a stock that has a 6 million float, and things aren't adding up. That's transferring assets.
Right.
So,
well, a lot of that, keep in mind, retail is really good at bitching about when there's a short in their stock and they keep knocking it down. But the day traders, the swing traders, the profit takers, the buy on rumor, sell on news idiots, those are the guys. You're
Guys, Delta is reaching $1 on the 6 strikes. Oh my God.
If I say it's going to 10, guess what? It's going to 10. You sell it at 7, you're a fucking idiot. It's that simple. If you hold and everybody else holds, these guys can't play these games. If you're day trading and swing trading, if you're buying on rumor and selling on news, if you're doing all the cliche shit that retail always does, all you're doing is feeding the fire. You're helping them to do what they're doing to you right now. And they've figured it out.
absolutely, yeah. And like you said before, one of the first points you mentioned when we started this is, like, you could have awesome news come, right? Like you said, a big deal gets fast tracked, and then bang, you see the stock pin drop. It's not all retail calling each other up the second the computer scans it artificially into the system and starts selling. It's impossible. It's like when you watch Bitcoin at 2 a.m. randomly, and it all just dumps. It's not like retail is calling each other up, hey guys, let's all come together and dump the stock. There's definitely
that's a lot of algorithms too. You look at these algorithms. These are Wall Street firms paying for algorithms that intentionally have specific trigger points that if you put in a bid, they outbid you. If you see the offers at $7.56 and you run at $7.56, it fills you at $7.55, and then it offers at $7.54. These are algorithms. It's blatant manipulation, and they should be illegal in trading. Frankly, that's the biggest problem you have in the market right now, is these algorithms that are designed to benefit the firms and only the firms. You can't get stock on the bid if you're bidding for it, because it automatically outbids you. You can't buy it at the offer and drive it because they don't want you to drive it. So you put it in, you can't even sell it. Like if I wanted to sell 1,000 shares of FNGR right now at $7.55 and I put it in, that algorithm's automatically going to offer at $7.54.5. And these firms are paying big tech gurus for these algorithms. The problem is, how do you beat them? The only way you beat them is news, fundamentals, and massive amounts of volume to trip them.
Well, yeah, it definitely makes it a lot easier.
Or if you're the SEC, you just ban them.
Go ahead.
Yeah, if you're the SEC, you ban these fucking algorithms, and you don't have this problem anymore. Then actual human beings have to be sitting there at the desk, and they have to actually put in an order of their own instead of it automatically being triggered and screwing you. If they did that, this naked short selling wouldn't occur anymore. If they banned those algorithms, it'd be over.
It's crazy how the dynamics of the market is shifting, so rapidly. I say it a lot to people, when I was, first starting out and reading a lot. I think a lot of the problems we have is it goes all the way to the top. And my buddy Pedro says that, often, as he goes, well, we're not even talking about the higher up. We're talking about like the actual federal government themselves being involved in, pumping and dumping and shorting. Like, that's how high it goes. And it really is crazy because you just don't know. You just like, is it all just one big, scam all the way, to the top of the system here, and it's just, playing into it? Like,
of course it is.
Yeah, of course it is. That's what's crazy.
Did you think it was coincidence that Nancy Pelosi and every Democratic senator on that side of the aisle went and bought every microchip stock in existence, and then 3 days later, the federal government awarded umpteen billion dollars.
Look at Moderna. They bought Moderna at like $5 and went to $500.
Right before COVID.
$500 that went to. and they're allowed to trade. See, that's the thing that really pisses me off out of anything else is that, hey, we're drafting bills to be signed in that are going to fund these companies for tens of 20s of billions of dollars, and we're looking at the draft and we know we're going to sign it. We know all my colleagues are going to sign it, and then they're going to get the funding. So it's like you're able to front run trades. It's out of control.
It is. It's pathetic.
Do you want to talk about?
The only way to handle that is to vote them the hell out.
Do you want to get into some of your tickers, or we can go down the politician route? But I was thinking if you want to talk a little bit about your own stuff. And
the point I was trying to make is very simply, the system is rigged against you, and you need a group, a team like what we put together now. You've got my network, which is billions of dollars. You've got, we'll call them the Dukes network. That's tens of billions of dollars. You've got the Chinese groups that are coming in on FNGR. You've got Univest. You got a lot of big hitters dedicated to one specific mission, and it's to break these guys finally.
Dukes, baby, Dukes.
It's to get these things trading true finally. And it's so rigged against you. If we weren't focused on specific stocks, 1, 2, 3 at a time, we'd be spread too thin. So we have to do it one at a time. Right now we're doing 2. I mean, specifically, you're looking at Nvos and FNGR. We're just smashing the offer over and over and over again for millions of shares until they give up. And we'll keep doing it because we got it. It'll churn until they break. We're talking about specific tickers. Prime example of what's going on in the market right now. You've got NELV. I mean, that's a $14 billion partner. There's 3 more like that coming, by the way. This is the first of many, because people are starting to understand what their technology is and why they need it. And if you've ever been to California, or you drive an electric car, or you've seen these rolling brownouts, you know why these things are going to sell like hotcakes, particularly in California. But wherever you're having really energy issues as a result of this conversion to electric, as far as cars, etc., you have to have a battery backup. And in California, they just voted in NEM 3.0, which is you mandatory have to have a battery backup if you have any kind of alternative energy source powering your home. So they're going to sell like crazy out there to begin with. And that's where they are. They're in California. Great company, great fundamentals, 57 million cash in the bank. The CEO, former Marine, and does not like borrowing money. And he won't. You won't see any dilution. We're bringing them fundamental deals. This Mosaic was a referral from the Duke. He brought them in. He made the introduction. They loved the product. They fast-tracked it right out. That's a massive company. And apparently nobody's getting it because the stock's down since the news came out. And it's huge. Nvos is pretty self-explanatory. Good, solid, fundamental company. Been shorted to the floor. Yeah, they diluted their own stock. Nothing I could do about that. I took that from about $1.04 when I started on my first contract to about $3.65. And they raised money through Maxim. And frankly, if you guys see Maxim, or you see an H.C. Wainwright, or you see Lynn Partners, stay away from the stock, because they were cool the first time this company raised money in the 3s, and they were a little less cool when this company had to take more money in the 2s, and then they obliterated it on the 3rd raise. I held this thing for months in the worst market in 40 years, upwards of $3. When they took the 2nd round, I held it at about $2.50 for months on end, just sitting there with massive bids, knowing they were dumping on us, knowing they were shorting us, knowing they were trying to beat it up. And I held it. Eventually, they took money at 50 cents from Maxim because that's what they were offering. And if you know you've got a good business plan and you know you've got a way to get out from under that, you take the money, and they took the money. I had to let the stock go. They took money at 50 cents. The stock went down to 35, which doesn't make any sense, but that's what happens. Eventually, they allowed Maxim's investors to convert at 10 cents. That should have been the floor. They pushed this under 10 cents artificially, and that's what set a lot of these guys off, because some of these big boys were invested in this. They were already pissed about how it was going, but it wasn't because the company didn't have fundamentals. It wasn't because the company wasn't doing everything they were supposed to do with the money that was invested in them. It was because Shorty got a hold of it and decided we were going to knock it down. When they got under 7 and they were looking like they were going to get delisted based on that 10-day rule. I don't know if you guys are familiar with the 10-day rule. Is if your stock is under 10 cents or 10 consecutive business days, you are automatically delisted from the NASDAQ. These guys saw 7 cents on that stock and they went, nah, screw that. We've had enough. And that's when it all came together. That's when everything you're seeing in Finger and Novo and NeoVolta and all that's when it all came together. We've had enough. Started with Nvos, years of this bullshit with Finger where they just keep beating it down. And you had the one big run up, and they kept walking it down. These guys are fed up, and they have more money than any market maker you see out there. I promise you, they're going to crack. And I'm going to be standing over the body.
Love it. Absolutely love it. So this is a lot of time that we've had to, spend on these specific tickers, like we mentioned. It's getting involved with the right people. And I said this, I said this pretty much since I've came on social media. I'm not of the loser's mindset. I don't give up. We don't quit. We don't bitch and cry about it all day. It sucks, right? Shit's unfair. I'm not gonna, I'm not gonna sit there and say, this is easy. It's not gonna be easy. I say strong stomachs only, because the shit's gonna get fucking nuts. So it's this. You're either here to ride, with your boys here, or and maybe stock investing, or maybe these penny stocks just aren't for you. I mean, it's that simple. If you want to change, you got to get dirty, and we're getting dirty. And the only way to do it is to fight back, right? We've seen, even like with the AMC, like look at how powerful retail was, but in the end, everyone's banding together on the opposite end of the trade and crushing stocks. It's only a matter of time until people on the other side of the trade, right? It's long and short, come and do the same thing. Listen. That's how it works. So now you have people that are going around stock by stock, like he just mentioned, that are like what I would like to say really solid companies fundamental. That's a key part of it, because naturally you're going to attract a lot of these garbage issuers, because it's last resort options. The company needs cash. They need it to fund their operations, to keep the doors open for another month, whatever it might be. A lot of times that happens. That's just the reality of penny stocks. So they get in bed with the wrong.
I'm not saying the shorts are always wrong. I'm saying they're wrong on the ones that we pick.
Oh yeah, correct. But a lot of people, they like you said, they cry about the shorts, but you have to understand, especially if there's no fundamentals there. What do you expect? If that's just, it's you see a really great company fundamentally, you love it, you want to go long. The short seller is seeing the same thing you're seeing, but on the exact opposite end. Oh, it's a garbage company, it doesn't earn anything, it's just burning money. There's no there's no business here. It's a shell or whatever. And then that's your incentive. That's your DD and your entry point going short. So just always try to look at it from the opposite end, right? There's always someone on the other end of that computer too, wanting to see it go down. But yeah, moving forward, like I said, now you're getting involved with finger motion, right? We saw what the CEO said, right? He just did an interview. I think he is great, Martin Shen. You should definitely, take a look and watch it. It was 5 minutes, but really, he just says that they got a license from China Mobile, China Unicom, to study the data. And again, it's going to be 1.5 to 1.6 billion user accounts, or billion phones. And essentially what they're going to be able to get is, specific key details, like how fast you're driving in a car, what's your habits, do you work out every Friday, what do you like to eat, like things of that nature. And that, again, is
don't discount the insurance element of that either.
Yeah, they're going to open the door. We already know they're working with Munich Life Re, Pacific Life Re. They've mentioned that many times. But it's really just about studying human nature and focusing on the data aspect of the company, which is a huge thing to hear, that they're going to go into possibly healthcare, financial services, ability to provide risk rating information and health information, and so many analytics that are going to come with AI. I think that now you're seeing a shell for up to 300 million monsters coming involved and getting involved with it all across the board, whether it's just the issuer's friends, or a million people. And now it's a real business. Tight cap structure, everything you need. It's not like there's 500 million in the OS here. It's a 24, 25 million in float, and the insiders own half it. And they also put in clauses that they're not able to sell. I think it's more than 10%. I don't know if it's month over month. I don't know the specifics, but now you have a business like that. Okay, it's definitely scary to see a short try and mess with the stock. How what's your fundamental case here? Is it paying to spread BS with the Bash article? Oh, they need cash. They're burning cash. No, they're not. They're not burning cash. They're not in dire need of cash. There's so many things that they try and twist and turn about the ticker. That's how you know you have something special. Is it's not. It doesn't make any sense when they're saying that.
Yeah, they've already been through that burn cycle, and now they're monetizing it. I mean, you think about it, you've got 1.5 to 1.8 billion phones. If this company makes a dime a phone on just one element of what they're doing for those users, that's 150 to 180 million a month in revenue. That's what's coming. People don't get it. They don't see it. I do. That's why I'm buying it. And you said insiders own half of this float. Guess who owns the other half? The guys that are fed up with the bullshit that's going on in the stock. And now they're showing it and they're flexing. They haven't really flexed yet. And Univest, I don't know if you guys have seen what Univest can do before, but you've got that PR from yesterday out there. And I called people who are really good at this stuff and really understand what's going on. And I said, so if I'm looking at this right, we're looking at 10 million shares at $30 a share, right? Which is pretty good for us, owning the stock outright, not the options, the stock. Forget about the options. And they told me $30 a share for 10 million. No, that's going to probably be $50 a share for 6 million. You understand what that means for retail?
Well, I'm getting even more excited because I just saw the calls absolutely spike tremendously on Finger.
I'm talking to people who are close to the deal, and I'm saying, so $30, 10 million? Nope, 50. And I said, that's insane. And they said, yeah, well, that's what's going to happen. And I damn near lost it.
Well,
you guys understand when I'm talking about the kind of people that are in here buying these stocks in the open market right now and driving them and beating these shorts up. People who are on the call, people who follow me, you understand what my buying power is? I'm the smallest in the group.
So that's
that's scary shit.
That should say enough there. Another interesting point, I think that everyone should really pay attention to this, coming from the article yesterday. I think the point, if they do take down a portion of the S3, it'll probably be multiples of this point, which again is a really great perspective to hear, is that the company doesn't need the cash now, and they're expecting to raise at, like they said, multiples of where the stock is now. And then keep in mind also, when the all-time high was like 17 or 17.50, there was no offering done at that time. So what the article says, and what I think is interesting, is it probably comes in some way from the business itself. Someone's obviously being paid to write this. Should the valuation increase $20 to $30 a share or higher, it's reasonable to think they'll bring in some capital. The technical setup for a short squeeze, the contracts, and so it makes sense. The company, I think, is very aware of the situation. They took, I think, they hired Wes Christian to go against Lynn Partners. They know something was done maliciously on the back end. I think they know they have someone trapped here that's trying to harm their business. So now you go on the offensive.
Yep.
You see all those things. You say, okay, well, hey, it went to 18 last time. They didn't raise money. The article's coming out saying that they probably are not going to raise any money. So at least till you break 15, somewhere in 15 to 20, you're probably going to get a smooth sale of people really going long and holding strong from an insider perspective, and then again not touching any of that 25 million on the first round. So that's a really good feeling.
And keep in mind, Univest is investing essentially $300 million in the company. Do you think these guys are stupid? Ask yourself why Univest is investing $300 million in specifically finger motion. Do you think maybe they're a little better versed on what this company is about to do than we are? I would have to guess yes. There's a reason they're investing $300 million.
Oh, I said this yesterday in my group. I said, guys, it can come in multiple rounds. It could be spread out. I don't care on how they do it. They're giving over $250 million to this business. And right before, the CEO said that they're going to really focus on the data side and studying human behavior, which again is a huge market for where AI is going to go. And then the second part, also, they're not going to raise, I think, as they go up. But 300 million, you better bet that they're definitely going to be long on the stock and want to see the stock do more than just succeed. I mean, they want it to thrive. You're not going to throw this type of money at a business and not really believe in it. He also hinted at pay attention to Q3 and Q4, which I think is going to be a blowout, by the way, and that's coming. That's coming within 3 weeks, 4 weeks from now.
You caught that, did you?
Oh yeah, he said retail investors are bullish on finger. I said, yeah, I like that. Nice little hint he dropped there. So
also keep in mind, if they're putting money in at, if they're putting money in at 30 or 40 or 50, whatever that number winds up being for the 300 million, if you're investing at 50, do you expect to break even? Or do you expect the stock to go up and you make money?
I think wherever a big block's going, it's they're looking for at least probably a 5x, I'd say, from there. I mean,
that would be my guess.
That's conservative in what I've seen too.
Moving on, because we're running out of time here. Look, NEOV, best fundamental company I have right now until Finger puts everything together. But NEOV is spectacular fundamentally, exponential growth rate, money in the bank, no dilution coming, great management team, great CEO, just a no-nonsense company. You look at Nvos, you all know what's going on there. Fundamentally strong and about to break out as far as the fundamentals, in which case the stock will do the same. I've got MONI. That's Moon Equity. That's essentially, with the exception of the one product they have in there, it's an empty shell. But we're buying that based on what we expect to roll into that particular public entity, which we expect is going to be a pretty hefty sized company. I believe the projections in the CEO's own words were about 70 million in revenue and a substantial EBITDA. But the guys that are rolling their assets into that particular shell, or not really a shell, that public entity, we'll call it, they've got 61 more companies. None of them public. All doing very well. So what happens if they roll $70 million worth in, and then they decide, well, we're going to put these 3 companies in, and then we're going to put these 2 companies in, and oh, you know what? We think we'll roll this one in. What if they use this particular public entity as an incubator and roll all of those companies in eventually with the entirety of the revenue attached to them? Probably not a bad investment here at 2.68 cents a share, right?
That's crazy. 61 is a huge number.
I know. That's why we're buying it. If you look at ILAL that I put out recently, obviously you've seen some movement in that. It was about a nickel when we started. It is, what are we at? 23.75 right now. They've got this massive, almost completely developed project on the Gulf of Mexico. Every one of those villas has a 180-degree view of the Gulf of Mexico. They're beautiful, and it's almost completely developed. They're starting to generate real revenue from that. There's next to nothing out as far as the total share count. There's no short in it. And I've moved this in a week relatively easily. We're just getting started. I expect that to be NASDAQ probably by the end of October, early November. That's really all I can share with you about that one right now.
No,
Just getting warmed up.
that's awesome. That's awesome. I think again, everyone should just be making those little mental notes. Obviously, not telling you to make any specific action, but just take note of what's being said. And again, the plan. A lot of times when people look at stocks, they want to buy it and then just have it moon. That's it takes time. It takes weeks. Like even myself, I got a little flustered with the just accelerating and looking at the speed in which the stock's going to trade out. It's much different. So when you're building a stock and you're waiting for the fundamentals, you're waiting for earnings and everything to sort of play out, it could take, like you mentioned, 6, 12, 18 months, but at the end of it, it'll come pretty quick. It could be an exponential change, and it seems like that's the case. I have to do a little bit more reading on that company. I'm not well versed at all on that ticker, to be honest.
All right. Do we want to take any questions in the last 8 or 9 minutes here?
Yeah, we'll definitely take some questions 100%. If you guys don't want to speak, you could drop a comment. I'll go through my DMs real quick. I got a few. Everyone basically just said, like, what's the deal with the S3? Those are old. Let's see. No, I don't see anything related to these stocks. If anyone wants to request a mic, you could do that as well. Just trying to see if there's anything in the comments below. Someone loves the guy Joe. He said he loves you. I love Borders. Don't mess with that, dude. You got some fans. I love it.
I'm really just the face of a much bigger group. Well, I guess not even the face. I guess right now I'm just the voice.
There we go.
But trust me, there's a lot bigger guys behind me than what my company and my network is, and they are pissed.
Yes, my group. If anyone has any questions here. One of my guys in the Discord said, "Ask him if he could adopt me."
I have 3 little girls as it is. I'm good.
Sorry, bro. I don't think he wants you. I don't see anyone that has any questions. Let's see if one more popped up on the bottom. Nope, just any OV. I think we're pretty much good. I'll hang out for another 5-10 minutes. But yeah, just again, like I said, just seeing it all play out. It takes time, right? We started talking about this stock, even finger motion, a year ago, right? All the same things I'm saying now, I was saying a year ago, right? Just go look back. I don't even look back sometimes at some of the things I said, but every now and again I rewatch. I'm like, oh my god, I said this literally 12 months ago.
The difference is now you have hundreds of billions of dollars behind you, backing up what you're saying and proving it in the open market.
Okay, we got Optimus. What's up, buddy?
This is the finish line.
Hey guys, this has been a great chat. As Avid knows, I've been in this fight pretty much about the same time as Ham. We've known each other for over 20 years. And I went through all of this with Sedona and with Force Protection and on, and the list is endless. And some of them were drug companies that were trying to cure cancer, and some of them were trying to protect soldiers. And it doesn't matter, because basically once you're on the radar of these guys, they just basically hammer the stock down to zero, leave the carcass, and move on to the next one. And I think it was maybe a little bit naive on all of them, that we thought that if enough of us complained to the SEC, and we wrote articles and wrote letters and called the line to complain and to do whistleblowers. I just want to remind everybody about, which I've talked before, Avid knows about the case of Gary Aguirre, who was a man who got his law degree at the age of 57 years old at University of California back in the 2000s, and then decided he wanted to do public service and worked for the SEC and became a whistleblower internally against a company called Pequot Capital, which involved John Mack. And Gary was unceremoniously fired by his own agency for trying to do good to protect retail. And if that doesn't kind of say where it's at with regard to how realistic it is for us to count on the regulators to do anything for us. So I totally support the approach that Daniel and his partners are taking with regard to the fact that you need a big sledgehammer of money to basically kill these guys. I mean, this is the only way that this gets done, because we've seen, if you don't have the regulators on your side, you don't. CEOs, you think you have the CEO on your side, and then the CEO does a backdoor deal for toxic financing, and you don't.
Mullen,
So,
AMC.
Right, AMC. Look what's happening with Logic. I'm not sure what's going on with Logic, but there seems to be some concern about the note that was revealed yesterday. Anyway, the point I'm making is I applaud what you guys are doing. I think we should all be as supportive as we can of this approach. I think it's good to keep pounding on the regulators. That's fine, but don't expect anything, because this is endemic to the system. Everybody knows about it. Everybody looks the other way. Anybody who saw the Gary Gensler interview, the testimony that he gave when he was asked directly about MMTLP and how he deflected, and he talked about annual reviews of FINRA. He did everything but answer the question. These are the people that we're counting on. They are expert politicians. They will use a word salad, and they won't give you anything that's nutritious. And so that's really it. And again, Avid, thank you for being such a clear voice to articulate all of this. You're much better than I am. But it's great to see that we're using social network to bring people together this way. But everybody who's if you're new to this and you're wondering about the SEC and FINRA and the NSCC and DTCC and the broker dealers and all that, the
All
problem
complicit.
is so big and so enormous that if it were to get fixed tomorrow, it would completely break the system. There is not enough money in the system. And we're talking about stocks today. There's failures to deliver in everywhere. There was failures to deliver in cryptocurrency. That's what brought down FTX. There was failures to deliver in the bond market that have been known about for 30 years. This business of using electronic delivery is rampant. So this is not even the tip of the iceberg that we're dealing with here. So anyway, bravo guys. Wonderful to see what you're doing with FNGR, and I'll cut back to the mic.
Hey, I appreciate that. Always love having you up there. Great perspective. Again, I know you've been at it for a couple decades here, and again, we really do appreciate the input. I'm just going to go off two quick comments here, and then if Dan's got anything, it said, as Moni's OTC, can the incoming management surprise us with a RS? I mean, it's OTC, so I don't know. That doesn't.
There will be no
that doesn't make any sense. But all good.
Incoming management, worst case scenario, as they roll companies in, if the stock doesn't perform as expected, there may be 1 for 5
Okay.
to qualify for NASDAQ, but that's probably the worst you'll see.
Okay. So no, and then the worst case 1 for 5. And then it says, question for the chat: does S3 have to be deemed effective before Univest gets involved? Can they start getting involved right away? I think they can get started right away if they want to.
Univest starts buying the minute they are engaged, and they will buy the stock right through the actual effective date before they price it. I think you're likely to see some pretty serious appreciation in the stock price between now and the effective date.
Awesome. Let's see. NEOV. Does NEOV close green? Is there Hulk Smash or Duke come into play today?
They'll all close green today.
All of them closing.
Every one of them.
Awesome. Okay, let's see if there's anything else. I think it's pretty simple there. If you had anything for Optimus or not, again, always appreciate it. I know he's been with us for a while here. We got one more. Let's bring up Will. Still says connecting on my end. Let's see if there's any comments. Yeah. Oh, okay. Will, you got the mic. Go ahead. Will, can you hear me? Real Will? You got to unmute yourself. All right. I don't know if he's with us here, but seems like that's it for right now. Can you hear me? I just want to make sure it's not my mic.
I can hear you.
Okay. Yeah, I don't. Real Will, let's see one more time if you can hear us. Will, you got to unmute your mic if you're here with us. Oh, he went to listener. Okay, no problem.
So that's it.
Let's see.
He got scared.
Yeah, I don't see anything else here. Everyone's hype. Everyone's hype for Borders. I love that.
That's funny because I'm kind of an asshole.
The public likes you. What could I say? Oh, we got one more here. Let's get Anthony up here.
I knew he was going to jump in.
Go ahead. You got the mic, Anthony.
Thank you very much for everything you're both doing. I appreciate it. And I want to reiterate what the gentleman was saying before. Yes, there is a lot of manipulation. The SEC, I look at it as a branch of a criminal organization, Rothschild's banking cartel. But basically, we need to fight, just like you're doing, Daniel. The attitude that you have towards this, we all need to have it. And it's when there's enough people fighting, they will cave in. So just want to thank you guys for that and reiterate that we need to fight back. And when the majority is convinced we're the minority, that's the problem. We are the majority. So everyone needs to have the positive attitude that we can fix this. We will be able to fix this. So thank you very much, gentlemen.
So, Anthony, what do you think? DWAC next?
That's my goal. I would love to help get you guys involved in DWAC. I volunteered to get the extension and all the shorts, all the nerds from Wall Street Bets. They were saying, "Oh, this is an easy short," because we needed 65% of the vote. We blew it out of the water, over 72%. So we did this. We have the power to do this. We band together, and yeah, I think it'd be great. I think DWAC, when they merge, it's going to be big time. With TMTG. So yeah, we appreciate it. I'm in for everyone to know. I'm in Nvos. I'm the OG. I'm 15-year investor with Nvos. I had it before when it was turbine truck engines. So I've been around probably longer than Chris has had it. So yeah.
Wow. So you saw me drive this, and then you saw them destroy it, and now you see us bringing it back from the dead.
Yeah, right? Exactly. And
gotta put a smile on your face.
Yeah, it's good. It's been it's been a road, and I know, I remember when these guys took over from day one. I had known the CEO from the other company, and he basically said, "Look, these guys are a real business. They want to grow this company. I think it's going to be good." And I've talked to them before several times, and they were always, that was their goal, to grow this company, grow it, build the revenue and make it a real company. It was never about a pump and dump. So it gets frustrating when I'm looking on Stock Twits and I see all these newbies coming in here saying, "Oh, let's watch it go from 12 cents to 14 cents." And I'm like, you chodes, we need to, this is a real company. Like, be patient, like you said, avid trader, be patient. And, I think we're going to be, I think it will, definitely go over $1 and, ramp up from there. So yeah, definitely agree. I appreciate everything you are doing. And one thing I did question I did have is as far as revenue, because it gets a little confusing on the revenue that was posted. And I remember hearing your video from I believe it was around 6 months ago when you gentlemen were talking about revenue. Is there a projected revenue of over 100 million or for NVOS?
That's my understanding.
Okay. Because it was confusing. It had something to do with certain revenue was from I guess the companies that they deal with, and they weren't including it.
Yeah. Well, you have to remember they have the iodine products on shelves all over the country in Canada and in several locations in the United States. They still have that deal with LA Fitness. I don't know if anybody's even aware of that. Going to an LA Fitness anywhere in Canada and a lot of the locations here in the United States, and that product's sitting on the counter. It's going to be in every one of them soon.
Yeah, that's good. I think they've done a really good job of building a company, and being someone that I own my own business, I know what it takes. It's not easy. So yeah, I'm very impressed, and I appreciate everyone bringing attention to this and fighting the shorts. I'm holding. I mean, I'm not big time. I've 600,000 shares, but it's it's enough to it's enough.
You got more than I do.
Yeah.
I'm kidding.
But yeah, well, I appreciate it, you guys. You guys have a wonderful day. Thank you very much for all this.
Appreciate you coming up.
Anthony.
I got JD getting a speaker, but I just wanted to say Arca's in here. We got Rigatoni, Hulk Investments, got a few people here. If any of you guys want to take a mic, offer, opinion, anything you want to talk about, I think a lot of people here are, saying, oh, we really loving the conversation. We don't want you to end. Keep getting a ton of messages saying that we want to keep going. So I'm trying to stay on something.
Hey, I can trade while I'm sitting here. Get on the mic and say something, you little fuckers.
Yeah, it could be anything. Just talk about any stocks, just opinions, anything. Just request the mic. We want to keep it flowing. I always like having some good company up here, and I haven't done a space in a while, so I'm feeling good. Everything's looking green for me. But JD, you got the mic. Go ahead.
Thanks, Avid. Great job, by the way, with the space call. Daniel, it's great that you actually came in at this time, and obviously the goal for you and your group is to, I would assume, to force the shorts to cover. But I can't seem to get my head around the fact that these hedge funds and investment banks continue to naked short, manipulate the stock, like they're on a suicide mission because they know they're trapped. They can't get out. And are they banking on some kind of black swan event that whether they switch to CBDC? Because there's, I don't know, I can name probably 10 catalysts in going on right now that could probably crash the financial markets itself. Pick one of them. But do you think they're thinking that they have some way out and they're not going to have the cover?
Was there a specific ticker you mentioned there? I apologize. I'm trying to get Daniel back up here.
Well, it's across the board, Avid. You know that. I mean, pick a ticker, but even some of the big ones, GME, AMC, obviously Finger's not going to crash the market, but some of these other tickers have the potential. And not only that, once one starts rolling and we start taking them down one by one by one, there is not going to be enough money in the market. Because we all know they're all in on it. CEOs, several CEOs, our brokers, the regulators. Obviously, they're on it. They look away. I mean, are they banking on some kind of black swan event that's going to give them a loophole to get at this? Some of these, I mean, the last time with GME when it ran, they said it would have crashed the system, and AMC is even that much more bigger now than GME is, but GME itself still is a sleeping giant. Who knows what Ryan Cohen is going to pull out of the rabbit's hat?
Yeah, I think for your for anything that's, I like to break it down just based on the market cap, but more just the way in which institutional investors are going to play in it. Anything that's like large caps, blue chips, no one short is being able to move any amount of liquidity that's going to have an effect. You're not going to be able to tank Apple stock. That's impossible. And you even saw how many people were really piling in on Tesla, right, to short that down. A lot of people don't even know that was one of the biggest short squeezes just in plain sight, right? And the only reason that happened was because the business fundamentally was so amazing. Obviously, Elon became, the world's richest man. He got a ton of clout. Obviously, owns Twitter now. He has a lot of clout is really the word, but really the reason why that happened was because there was just so many people that were bullish, and the sales kept going up, and they just blew it out of the water, and eventually shorts got killed. But in terms of covering or getting out or anything like that, I just don't think you're going to see anything massive for those blue chips, right? Small companies like this, I think the worst regulation will just be an OTC in general. There's probably the most naked shorts there and all bullshit you're going to see in OTC 100%. But I think it's very difficult to really have a short fully get bought in, or like a real legit margin call, something like you saw with GME, for example, because those were the biggest hitters in the game. It was the Melvin Capitals, Stevie Cohen, Ken Gray. I mean, you literally had, the biggest names shorting. I don't think you're seeing that in something like Finger Motion. I don't think you're seeing anything like that in any of the plays we're mentioning here. But those big players, like we said, institutional level on the large caps, right? Those market caps are just way too big. There's too much liquidity being pumped in there, and a lot of those stocks that we would mention are all in index funds. So those people wouldn't be shorting hard against anything that's a major tech company, unless, like you said, there was a black swan event, there was a market event crisis that would fuel that shorting. Just take a look back for the past 6 months. Everyone's been saying SPY is going to get knifed and fall off the face of the earth, right? I'm not going to lie. I was one of those people. I thought SPY was really due for an overcorrection at some point, but the market just kept going higher. So it needs a reason to go down, not to go up. So I know my statement about that was a little all over the place. I apologize. But yeah, I definitely don't think any of those major players are involved here to where they have such a large short that's going to be detrimental to the market, that they have the government on their side and they're just never going to cover. I don't see that here on a smaller cap or anything like that. And that's why I think it's a little different compared to something like an AMC. I don't see it being of that caliber at all, personally.
No, and that's what has attracted me to Finger and GTI. Yeah, we're looking specifically at maybe one prime broker. But again, I mean, there's still hundreds of trillions, if not quadrillions of FTDs that have been failed to deliver across the whole market system. So I just feel something. Why would they continue to short like they're doing? I mean, it's across the whole market. You know it.
Until the regulators step in.
And they won't.
At some point, they're going to have to.
No,
you have an election year coming up. And a lot of these people that want to stay in their post are going to have to do something to keep their job.
Well, that's why we got to get Trump back.
Till next year, November. But
yeah, that's why we got to get Trump back and get Patrick Byrne in there.
There you go.
All right, great call, guys.
Yeah, that would definitely be super interesting there. But something that we were mentioning before, I've talked about this with Pedro, who's in here, by the way, a lot about this. Does it need an overhaul? Does it just need simply just enforcing the market? And again, I think that's really just the big thing, is that it goes all the way up to the top, and it just needs to change, right? They have to start enforcing the laws that were put in place, or really, again, maybe tweaking a few things. But overall, just watching it now, I gave Busy, if you want to come up here and say something. Same thing with Pedro. I gave both of you guys a mic. If you want to share your input, tell us how you're feeling about all the stocks here. We'll get this person to come up. But just looking at Finger here, 740, 745, looking great. High day was 760. That was the high since I think mid-October, early November. I have to get that exact date. But again, just looking really, really solid. 1.9 million. This is a daily high volume, almost 2 million traded, and that goes all the way back to July 12th. So it's a 2-month high in daily volume. And in terms of share price here, I think we are all the way back since November 2nd in terms of all-time daily trading. So definitely really, really interesting here. 10,000 calls traded already, which, again, it's only halfway through the day. Really, really interesting just seeing it play out. I know GTII playing on that little 3 days green close that Pedro likes to mention a lot. I've been definitely paying more attention to it and looking for those signals. So, shout out to him on that. In terms of the calls here, just on the September, what I
Did he
think
just
is, again,
disappear?
extremely unusual is that, we have all of them expiring essentially, or majority of the flow expiring in 3 days from today. So 2,200 just in the volume today on the 13s, 2,400 on the 7s, 1,000 on the 8s. I mean, it's out of control. Open interest on the 7s, minus, not including today, is 5,200, 76 or 7,300 on the 11s, 2,500 on the 13s. I mean, it's out of control. It's out of control. Now, I don't think it's at that point where it's just dumb money throwing a lotto ticket in the garbage here.
I think he
It's very,
disappeared.
very
I
interesting
think
to
Borders
see,
is gone right from here.
what the trigger point is, or when, whatever dollar amount it is, or whatever point in time, if it's, like we said, some sort of threshold that's hit or a limit that's hit that says, all right, enough's enough. And it starts to really accelerate and really show us, like a BBBY when it went to 30, or AMC when it was, melting up to, 50, $60, something like that. I'm just, again, like I said, very excited because the one part about finger motion is that it's just been very slow and controlled, managed brick by brick. And now we're at that point where instead of being 8 to 12 days up, it's 90 to 100 days, consolidating and now being a marginable stock and having small brokerages be able to trade it, just have it more open to a larger group of investors. Just, again, whether it's nationally, globally, a lot of times brokers, they don't allow stocks under $3, stocks under $5 to be traded. They don't allow stocks that aren't marginable, that aren't deemed quote unquote safe. All the paperwork's done, and it just looks ready.
Yeah, it's firm to firm. One of the things that aggravates the hell out of me is you look at E-Trade and Ameritrade and all those online brokers that started as just online brokers. They made billions of dollars. People setting up their own accounts, self-directed, and buying penny stocks they wanted to buy, buying smaller stocks they wanted to buy. Those guys made their names, made their billions off those type of people, retail people, buying penny stocks. And now they tell you what you can and can't buy. And guess what? Penny stocks are off the table. It's pretty frustrating. I can't deposit some of the stock I have in certain accounts that I have because they won't allow it. I can't put $2 million worth of a stock in an account because they don't like it. It's pretty stupid.
I think it really screams the issues that you're seeing on the back end, because I always make this comment, like, a market maker's job is to fulfill orders and create a marketplace, especially when liquidity is present and on the bid. And when you see market makers run away from the trade, that again is very telling. That's very, very telling from what I've seen in all the squeezes I've been involved with. AMC, I didn't really play heavy in GME. I watched it. BBBY played it right at the bottom. All the same things, all the same little similarities. it's very interesting when they don't want to take the money, because when you're looking at it from a market maker's perspective, they're like the back end of the system. They have the clearest view of really what's going on. They see your name, your account, how old you are, what's your positions. They see your entire trading log, what your profit is on the year. They're aware of what's going on. They're aware of the dynamics of the market. Who's purchasing? Oh, this account that just dropped 700,000. Who is he? Looking at his past history. Oh man, every trade he gets in, he makes $100 million. Like whatever it might be, right? And those numbers, of course, are exaggerated, but in this case, probably real when you're talking about some of these tickers here. But that's the point, is when they're not trying to fulfill the orders, I always ask myself why. Because from their perspective, it's just money sitting there, right? They fill it now, and there we go. That's more liquidity. So I don't understand. I do understand, but I'm just making that point where I believe a lot of what's being sold, whether it's on the call side or even in terms of these block orders that we're seeing, is not actually accounted for on the back end physically. And I think that's where you've seen a lot of issues with actually settling the trade. If the stock does gamma squeeze, or if it does have a really large influx in price, right? The slow walk up 550, 6, 7, that's manageable. I don't care who it is. You're a $1 billion fund or firm, 100 millions, that could still be managed. Not when the stock jumps to 20 or 25 in a click. Then it becomes a big problem, right? And I think that is the main reason why I'm so confident here, is seeing it walk in slow motion. Eventually, it's not going to be slow anymore. And that's going to be interesting to see how it plays out, when now, instead of running away from the trade, you have no choice. You're being bought in, or in this case, if you're buying someone else in. So again, we keep losing Daniel. I'm going to try my best to get him back here. Been kicked 3 times. Arca, what's up? I didn't know you took a mic. How you doing today?
My bro, how you doing, dude? Thank you so much for having me, and thank you for hosting this, dude. This is absolutely amazing for retail. How are you?
Great. How you feeling today? I want to hear your voice for a little bit. How you feeling about some of these tickers and trading? If you got anything to offer for us, I'd love to be a listener here.
Yeah, man. Yeah, absolutely. So I was, I have you live on my stream right now. So
Beautiful. What's up? What's
you have
up,
you
Arca
have
community, or whoever's listening here?
yeah. Say what's up, you guys. So, dude, everybody's like, oh my God, that he's there. But yeah, Avid, thank you so much for having me, man. So I was going to ask the tough questions to Daniel, regarding the price action, because you know how I work. Usually, it's based on math models like statistical backtest, historical volatility, that whole thing, right? So there are some really interesting targets that are coming out of that, statistically speaking, and geometrically. So, touching down on some of those targets that I feel really uncomfortable of talking about, I wanted to pick his brain at it. Of course, he's talking about a $50 target already, right? So, I mean, if we're looking at the fibs in a geometric level, sure, I see the 4.236 to 4618 at around that. Well, it's specifically 4771 to 5974 in price. So beyond that, though, I also have supporting targets for some ridiculous numbers. I guess my overall question would be, Daniel, I see you back here. And hey, by the way, thank you so much for everything that you're doing, my brother. I really appreciate it. I'm sure retail loves you for it. I have you on live on my stream right now through Avid's live here on the space call. So, my first question to you, right? My first question to you is, you're already talking about a $50 target. Just for the record, I support it. The 4.236 fib ratio and the 4618 is coming up to right in between there. But I do have other targets that support some numbers that some people may consider to be unrealistic.
I'm one of them. I thought 50 was insane.
Right? So, I mean, if we're talking, are you supporting 50?
I personally thought 10 million at $30 a share was reasonable and a very, very attainable target, because you have to go past whatever that number is you intend to raise the money at, because they generally raise money at a discount. So I thought $34, $35, $36 a share, which is more than reasonable for that stock, fundamentally right now today. And then you come back and you do a raise at $30, and that's where your support is. And they were like, no. I was like, they're bigger than me. So I really don't have to say. That's where it's going because that's where they want it to go. It's really that simple.
Wow, that's incredible. So statistically speaking, I don't know if you heard the beginning of my introduction. I'm a systematic trader, I think you know them as quants, right? So quantitative. So I also practice high frequency trading systems myself. I do have back tests, historical volatility, and that's leading towards a target of 888, and it was apparently set to hit today or tomorrow. So I was very curious over that 760 that we were able to achieve already as a high of day. And I have a top side of 1283. What are your comments on that for the immediate short term, a week relative to the time frame now?
I would bet you dollars to donuts this thing cracks 10 by Friday, easy. That's my opinion. You have to understand the money behind this and how pissed off they are about this just blatant naked short, all the failure delivers. When you have a fundamentally sound company, a real company, it's baffling to me that they know who is now at the table and they still haven't just run and covered. Like if I'm the guy that shorted this stock and I see the names that I'm seeing talking about I'm buying 1 million shares of this, we're coming in for 300 million, I'm gone. I'm long gone. I can't cover fast enough. I'm calling my mom, and my uncle, and my sister, and my brother-in-law and saying, give me whatever you got. I need to cover. I'm screwed. How they are not covering right now, I have no idea. This is a scary bunch of groups of people that are now pissed off and that are buying and that are pricing this thing saying, this is where it's going to be. And I know the kind of money that's there, they're going to get wherever they want to put it to squeeze these shorts out. And they're going to raise money where they think it's a reasonable number to raise money. And they say 50. I think it's high. I thought 30 was reasonable, but they say 50. So, hey, who am I to argue? Again, the buying power I've got. You've seen me, Arca. You know what I do.
Yep.
Right? I'm the
you have that $30 target supported. It's
the smallest guy in the group.
That is incredible, man. That is really something to hear.
Stupid to think about.
Wow, man. Wow. So yeah, the $30 target is curious because it's also one of those 618 targets, right? It's at specifically 3316. And beyond that, 5974 would be your other 618 target, your 4618. So those are both geometric golden means that you're talking about, interestingly enough.
Yeah.
And they're very well supported.
What you're looking at.
But say again, sorry.
That 5916 is probably what you're looking at. If they're looking at approximately 20% discount to the market when they do the raise, and they want to do the raise at 50, $59, $60 is probably where they're going to have to take it to do the raise at 50. That's mind-boggling to think about.
Yeah, that's highly liquid.
They'll get there.
My team wants me to let you know that we're all rooting for you, right? We're streaming live and everyone's hearing you speak.
I do.
So thank you so much. Yeah, thank you, Daniel. Thank you for your time, and I appreciate you taking my questions. But on behalf of me and the Arca Bulls team, we commend you, sir. Hats off to you.
Keep doing it. Keep up the good work, man. We'll get them together.
Thank you, Daniel. Appreciate you, brother. Have a good day.
So I want to comment on one of the things that you mentioned before. I appreciate the time as well from you, Arca, always. Definitely interesting when you think about the mentality of a lot of these individuals. You have to think, not everyone, right? I don't like to generalize. I don't think that's the right thing to do. I think it's easy to say, every firm or every person, every this, but a lot of these, individuals that are, doing small deals with companies with convertible notes and whatever it might be. It could be something with the Kramers where they do a small deal, 30, 50,000. It could be a couple million like you see with Lynn Partners, Lynn Global Funds. I think a lot of times there's really big personalities. There's, the same way how, we have confidence on the long side with, all the money and the people involved is sort of the same way how those people have, or the confidence level they have is, like a Maxim or H.C. Wainwright. Like, there's just something going on where there has to be multiple groups of people that are, all going to work and specifically putting their efforts into the opposite end of the trade. So a lot of times like that.
You understand how their investors work, right?
Go ahead. I'll let you say that, and then I'll comment after.
You're commenting on Maxim and H.C. Wainwright specifically. I want to touch on that.
I don't know
Like
them
H.C.
specifically.
Wainwright,
I was more generalizing, but I will go ahead. I want to hear.
I know, but I'm trying to give you a little insight as to how they work. Like Maxim, H.C. Wainwright, they don't put their own money in. They go out once they've been engaged, and they find 5 or 6 of their normal investors, guys that put money into deals they do. And those are the guys that put up the money, not H.C. Wainwright. H.C. Wainwright collects a check. They get whatever percentage they get of what they raise. And then they also get stock when the transaction is completed. And generally speaking, it's restricted stock initially, or it's the free trading as part of an S1. And they immediately short against it. But they don't do it in any firm accounts. They go to 5 or 6 different investors. They have those guys short the stock, knowing that they're burning the 5 or 6 guys that put up the money for the company. And the 5 or 6 guys that put up the money for the company know it and are shorting it as well because they make more on the short play than they make on the actual investment. You understand that?
Yeah, absolutely. And we've seen
they're bringing in investors knowing they're going to short against whatever they intend to get. So they beat the stock down. They wind up with more shares. They short the living shit out of it, generally 5 to 6 times what they are actually getting in the transaction. And the guys who are putting up millions of dollars to invest in this company know that that 15 million is a wash, but they're going to make 3 times that on the short play. That's what happens when you go to a Maxim or an H.C. Wainwright. And they do it every time.
750 on
the last
FNGR.
300 deals that H.C. Wainwright's done, they're all down 99%. Every single one.
Yeah, that's like the same thing with the Kramers out of Long Island. They're definitely
Exactly.
They're just so good at it. I was told a story by I think it was, I don't know, it was someone told me this about DBMM, the CEO, when they were involved with the Kramers there. I believe they were bankrupting one OTC company a week back in the 90s. I mean, they were just literally just blasting them. And the point I was, making before is that, this level of confidence is very high. They're paying certain individuals to do it. If it's the Kramers, it's Rob Schneider and Vertical Group and Jane, and there's a million different tags specifically that you see pop up all the time, and they're doing the same thing, right? They're being incentivized to trade. And one thing that I used to say, and I don't know again how accurate it is, but I know for the smaller caps in OTC specifically, where let's say it was like 50,000 shares of a stock that was at like $1, right? And that you're going to get 10 cents a share at the end of the day, no matter what, to short it. What I saw a lot of times is an effort, right, or some sort of incentive to go and short the stock, and you're going to make, let's say, 50,000 no matter what. You go and sell 100,000 shares short, 50,000 shares short. And specifically with GTII, I used to see that a lot. At the end of the day, there used to be a wash back and forth for, once the bell rang, which again was only market makers allowed to do that in OTC, and it was for the same exact price that the stock opened for. So essentially, let's say the stock's $1, you short 100,000 shares and you're getting 10 cents on the dollar no matter where it closes. So you're just doing that, and you're being paid to go into the open market and sell stock short to hold it down for someone like the Kramers who might have a massive position, right, in other accounts. So when you have this like level of, arrogance and, big personality, these guys, they never think they're going to lose. And for their livelihood, like say now we go to finger motion or something, if there is a really big short, like someone says, well, we know that they're literally digging their own grave, but these people are going to continue to fight and fight and fight until, that's it. If it's one more week or one more day of living that same lifestyle they have, they're going to do it.
Yeah.
It doesn't.
Yeah, but you also have to keep in mind that the shorts are, I mean, it's obviously not one group, but those who short in general are not shorting one or two stocks. They're shorting 1,000. And if they lose on one or two, they don't care. They'll fight it, but they're winning on 998 other ones. And that win on those other ones where they're crushing companies and crushing retail, they have no problem with pulling out of that one. They've already won the game and putting it into one they're losing on, which is what we're fighting right now. It's money they're pulling from other deals they made money on shorting, and they're putting it into this short because they're getting their ass handed to them. It ain't going to work because they don't have enough money. They can't pull it. If they pull the money out of 998 deals they're shorting right now to focus on these two, they're still going to get their ass handed to them. I'm going to eat their face. My people are not backing down. These are big boys that understand exactly what they're doing, how much money it's going to take to do it, and they are not going to quit. But they're shorting everything.
How big do you think, if you had to guess, because I mean, in the end of the day, it is a guess to some sort of shares that could possibly be, I don't want to say outstanding, just say share short here on that side. I know it's a very difficult thing to try and pull a number. You could hear anything from me. I'll say a couple million real shares, and then you could hear 100, 200 million. Right? There's got to be a fine line.
I mean, you see the different kinds of reports that they have out there. You see the one that that Tommy and those guys use. It's generally speaking, you're seeing both sides of the equation there. So if it says there's 164 million short on that type of report that you're getting, that's the combined both sides of the equation. So it's probably half that. If they're saying it's 164 million in FNGR, it's probably 82 million. They're saying it's 1.3 billion in NVOS. It's probably, half of that, 650, 700 million, which is still insanity because it's only 154 million issued and outstanding. These guys short 10 times the float, 5 times the float. They don't care. Until somebody does something about it, they'll continue to sell stock they don't have, can't possibly deliver, in the hopes that they can just beat the company down so bad that the CEO throws up his hands and walks away. These guys aren't doing that. CEOs aren't doing that. These investors aren't doing that. They're going to win these.
We got Tom here with his hand up. I want to give him the mic. Go ahead.
Yeah, hi guys. I'm just wondering if you could draw me a path forward for the shorts. If we say it's 80 million and we think 70 of it is this one person in Lind, if that actually ends up being true, I'm trying to figure out what it looks like and how they would actually cover that many shares, even if the company offered them 10 million. That doesn't. I want to understand better what is the path out for them? Is it they use part of that 25 million while the share price rises, and when the share price gets to a particular number, they decide, yeah, now we're going to give you part of the 300 million. I don't. If there's another path, and you guys could explain
My team. I have to actually say, my little boy is wide awake over there, messing around like crazy. I appreciate everybody for coming by. I appreciate for you sticking to for the little tough questions that I presented to Daniel Borders, right? So good times there, team. I really appreciate everybody for coming by. Check out the price on FNGR, currently at 750. We're absolutely killing it. Make sure to step over to Avid Traders Space Call on X right now, on Twitter X, right? So go ahead and visit him. 754 on FNGR, team. I am seriously up. Lauren Wood, thank you so much. Thank you so much. Appreciate you. Jupiter, Dustin White, really love everybody for coming by, man. Ian Tucker, love you, man. Thank you. Thank you. Lauren, what am I not forgetting? Mikey, see you in the morning, my brother. Zeb from Bonertown, let's go. Cryptic Trader, appreciate you. James Welby, yeah, man, I think we could hit that $8 in the after hours. Remember, 888 is my target for now. That I'm the dude. Thanks, Lauren. Aiden, yeah, man, send me a DM, my brother. I hope that everything is good with you, man. I want to know how you are. Phyllis, thank you so much for coming by. Damon, lock up, my bro. All right, you guys. So it's gonna go ahead and sign off now, right? So please take whatever I do show and iterate within these videos as just a form of entertainment, as it cannot suggest for you to buy, sell, or hold any assets whatsoever. I need you to do your own due diligence, and everything will be cool. FNGR is at 760. I'll catch you at the bell mañana, team. Adios, adios, adios. Yeah.
On a very small amount could do a lot. So that would be probably the first thing I would say. And then in terms of getting out, I mean, I think a lot of what you're seeing on Wall Street is a relationship based